Let me find. Yeah, you can start.
Okay. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to episode 202 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Will.
Corey.
Today's episode is going to be on the game Heroes of the Storm. Just, finally launched.
Fresh coating on it?
We've been talking about it for a while, but we're going to actually, do an episode on it now.
So you don't have to hear about it as much.
Anymore.
Right, yeah. After today, who knows how much we'll be talking about it. Maybe not at all.
This is our putting it to bed episode.
Yeah, kind of.
Probably.
So that's going to be our main topic for the day. Anything anybody wants to tease?
I played more Witcher 3.
Yep.
Other than that, no. That's all I played.
That's all I played, too. I don't have anything necessarily to tease for later on in the episode either, so... Will, did you play anything?
Yeah, I did. I played the first Witcher, which isn't really tease-worthy, but I also played Massive Chalice.
Oh, nice.
A little bit, so...
Cool. I look forward to hearing about that. I've been interested.
As have I.
Yeah. Seems
Did you
like
play
a cool
on
game.
Xbox?
No, PC.
Okay.
I downloaded it on Xbox, though.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Corey, anything to tease?
Nope, just the more of The Witcher 3, and of course, as always, a little more Hearthstone.
Cool. Okay. All right, well, let's get right into HOTS, shall we?
Sure, Dan.
Well, it's nice to have you back doing notes.
Yeah, I'll get into it why I missed, but...
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, HOTS is, if you don't know, it's a MOBA, which is multiplayer online battle arena game, in the vein of your League of Legends, your Dota, and Dota 2. There's various ones out there, but really Dota 2 and League of Legends are the most popular ones. I think Heroes of the Storm is probably up there close anyway.
I think it's third now.
Yeah, now that it's out.
It's like Heroes and Smite.
Yeah. So that's the long and that's the short of it, not the long
That's
of it.
the short of it.
That's the short of it. It's done by Blizzard too. It's kind of funny that the original was a mod for Warcraft. Was it Warcraft 3?
Yep.
The original Dota game, the original MOBA, was a mod of a Blizzard game, and it took them this long to make their own MOBA, which is kind of weird. But that's typical Blizzard fashion, I guess.
People accuse Blizzard of copying the developers of Valve and Riot even though they technically started it.
They did technically start it because some modders took their game Warcraft 3 and made the first MOBA.
Yep.
Did you guys watch the Honest trailer for Heroes of the Storm?
Oh, I heard about it.
It was hilarious.
It's pretty good.
What is this now?
The Honest trailers. You know how they do the funny trailers for video games?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Video games, movies.
Poke fun at it.
Yeah.
No.
Dan, they talk about that specific point, how it's like a copy of a copy of a mod of a copy. I don't know, it's so funny.
Yeah. So there's that. Well, I mean, first let's get into some of the differences that you would experience as a if you played League of Legends or Dota, what the differences would be if you popped into Heroes of the Storm. And Will and Eric, I'm gonna probably lean most heavily on you guys. I know you've played the most.
So we've wasted the most time on
Corey's probably third on how much time he's played.
Yeah, I've played 539 games.
Wow.
Since I started.
Okay.
So it's a lot.
I think I was somewhere in the 30 to 40 range, maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know how many you're at, Eric, by any chance?
Any hours?
No, games played.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I should have looked.
I got my wins and stuff like that for.
No, I didn't look at any of my stats or anything like that, but I did a rough estimate a while ago that each game was 20 minutes on average.
Yeah.
And that this was a while ago when I was well over 40 hours at that point. So I put plenty of time in on Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah. Okay. You guys want to get into some of the differences that you would notice?
Yeah, sure.
From Heroes over to or from League of Legends and Dota over to Heroes.
Well, I think the biggest one would be there's no items to purchase.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, is nice. Yeah. I tried to play, I think it was Dota 2, briefly. And I don't know, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
The feeling that you get, because you don't know what items to buy. And I'm sure there's guides and things like that, but there's just so much that you can buy, and people are so rude if you do it wrong that I just was like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing is that it's more accessible because of the lack of items.
I would say streamlined even.
It is streamlined. It's dumbed down. like Blizzard does.
Yeah, I mean,
it is.
It is. Yeah, you're right. It is dumbed down to a sense, but to me that was like that's an unnecessary game element. And when I was learning how to play Dota initially, I was like, it seems pointless to buy items.
Yeah.
For a game, like I much prefer Blizzard's vision of picking your abilities, like an RPG. It makes more sense to me to do that than to have all these random items, like I don't know, hundreds of different items that you can pick from.
Yes. In Dota, and Corey, I know have played it. Do you pick abilities like you do in Heroes of the Storm?
Yeah, you have three to four baseline abilities, and you can level those up sort of, but it'll do like a little bit more damage or it'll stun a little bit, but like it's not a big part of the game. Like it's
more about the items.
It's more about the items or how you spec out your character that way.
Yeah, I much prefer just picking your abilities like you would in an RPG.
Yep.
Yeah, because in Heroes, the thing that they have is picking talents, and when you start out level 1, you pick one of 4 talents, or there's sometimes 5. Then when you're level 4, you pick one, level 7, you pick one, then 10, you get a choice between 2 ultimates, and then 13, you pick one.
Heroics, aren't they?
Yeah, heroics, ultimates, they're the...
Well, the Heroes of the Storm loyalists will get you for that one.
Yeah.
They can, whatever.
Is there Heroes of the Storm loyalists?
I'm sure.
Well, I'd technically be one.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
I guess I probably would too.
So,
but we don't care about silly things like that.
There's people that have been probably playing it since launch that would consider them loyalists and would probably yell at me and tell me how to play the game. Yeah. After having only played it for... When did it launch officially? Monday? Tuesday?
2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah. That's probably enough.
There's people in arguments that said, I've been playing since alpha, I know what I'm doing. And stuff like that.
You know what we say to those people. Anyway, back to the differences.
Uninstall.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean that I think is the biggest
primary
difference for me that you'll notice right away is it's not as intimidating when you open it up and start to play it because you just have to pick abilities, and there's a few to pick from at each level, but it's not like you have a list of all of these things to pick from.
And some are better than others, obviously, but you can kind of tailor your character towards your playstyle.
And like I said, I'm sure there are the same kind of thing for Dota or League of Legends as far as a build to look up.
Yeah.
But with Heroes of the Storm, it's not nearly as much to sift through.
Not just that, but as soon as you level up, you just click on that like banner on the bottom left-hand corner. You don't have to go somewhere to buy the items.
Right.
That took me out of like learning how to play the game. Like I got enough gold. Not just that, but keeping mental track of all that stuff takes you out of the game. Out of the game. And someone who doesn't play MOBAs, really.
I agree.
So that took me out of the game a little bit. But
what else differences-wise, Will?
Yeah, the next biggest change would be team leveling.
Yeah.
So in Dota and League of Legends, you could have somebody who is a carry, and basically they're in a solo lane, and they're last hitting the most, and they're gaining the most experience, so they level up faster than everybody else. So, like, if your team's having a bad game, like... the carry can pretty much like keep you in it and like be able to like take on multiple enemies at once. And Heroes of the Storm, there's team leveling, so everybody is the same level. So you have to make sure you work together as a team and strategize to make sure you guys keep up in levels and are able to keep up with the opposing team. And that way you can have your talents unlocked and keep up with them that way, so you don't fall behind in team battles.
Right.
So that's probably the next biggest change between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, maps would be another
Map
one.
objectives.
Yeah, there's multiple maps in this one, and every MOBA ever, there's only one map, really. Smite has, like, different game modes there on different maps, but, like, the normal game type, which is the 2 cores, and you guys go at it, there's multiple different maps. And in Heroes of the Storm, there's 7, I think, right?
Yeah, I think we did count 7.
Yes.
And there's about to be another one. I guess it's done, right?
Yeah, it is pretty much. I don't know. The launch event, I didn't pay attention to what did they say it was done?
I read that it's done. They're just like tweaking things here and there.
Stuff. So the maps are. Hold on, I wrote them down. Tomb of the Spider Queen, Sky Temple, Garden of Terror, Haunted Mines, Cursed Hollow, Dragon Shire, and Blackheart's Bay. And each one has its own objective tailored to each map. So like Blackheart's Bay, the object is to collect doubloons, and you turn it into the pirate in the middle of the map, and he fires cannons at the enemy building so you can siege through faster. So
I love the objectives.
Yeah.
I honestly can't imagine playing a MOBA without something like that.
Yeah, no,
I think it kind of breaks the play up a little bit, and it kind of keeps it fresh each match, so like something different can happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially like on a map like Garden of Terror, which is my worst map by far. But like two teams can both have a Garden of Terror going at it at once, and it's anything can happen when that gap like goes on. It's kind of cool to have those different type of possibilities on each different map. When you play, on the same Dota map, like it's kind of mundane. Yeah, I think.
And I know that people would probably argue like it's about mastering.
Mastering
your play
the game.
in the game and items and characters and things like
Which
that.
I get.
But yeah, I get it too. Like that's kind of what Destiny is, and I really like Destiny. But at the same time, I prefer the way Heroes of the Storm does it.
I like variety.
Yeah.
That was definitely. I'm with you. I thought that was way more interesting. Than just the same
like
map
my
every
first
time.
thought after I saw that the new map was coming out, I was like, oh, I wonder what the objective's going to be.
Yeah.
Like it'll probably be something pretty sweet because it's a Diablo map and it looks awesome. Like half of it is hell and like dark, and the other half is heaven and it's all like lit up and
that's awesome.
Angelic looking. Yeah.
Nice.
So, another big difference that you're going to notice right away is there's a lot less heroes to pick from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a list of them if you want me to run through them quickly.
I figure we do a little breakdown of the heroes.
Yeah.
In a bit. Are there any other differences you want to talk about?
Mounts.
Mounts? Okay.
Yeah, mounts are, I think, another really big difference because in Dota or League, every character has to walk to their spot. So, like, there's more time. Like, if you have, like, vision on a map and see, like, oh, they're in the top lane, you have way more time to be able to do something in the bottom or middle. But in Heroes of the Storm, basically, they can ride a horse and they'll be there, like, a lot faster. So, like, you have to be a lot faster with your movements. Like if you're taking a boss, like you gotta be like, oh, we have to like do it now, or not. You gotta time it right. Exactly. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's a benefit of a new player coming into Heroes of the Storm? Like what?
Oh.
Why is this one different?
The accessibility, I think, is the biggest benefit. That for me, that's what it was. Being somebody that had tried Dota 2 very briefly and was just overwhelmed by everything. I didn't feel that way at all with Heroes of the Storm.
No, I'm the same way. Like I had played a handful of matches of Dota 2, didn't really grab me at all. Playing Heroes of the Storm, like after the first game, I was like, I have a fairly good grasp of the gameplay aspect of it. Not necessarily the strategy and stuff like that, but I felt like I could confidently play the game.
Yep.
So it was very, very easy to pick up and learn for a noob like myself.
And the tutorial that they have you do is like pretty good. For doing it, because I think they run through the basics and then make you play a tutorial game, and then they let you play, and you can practice with bots and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's got I think better practice and easier to access practice mode than at least Dota 2. Also, you know, I think they encourage you to practice if you're starting. Playing with a new hero, they encourage you to practice before you just jump right into a match with it. So.
Yeah, that's why they did the talent gating, is because they wanted you to play the hero a little bit before you went right online with that. So
by that, Will, do you mean they limit the talents you can choose when you start?
Before you hit level 4.
Yeah, level 4 is when you unlock, like each character levels up 1 through 20, and when you hit 4 is when you unlock all their talents to be able to pick from. And they limited that because they didn't want people going right in as a new hero like Abathur, not having any idea what they're doing, like me.
Right.
And having to choose between 6 different abilities every level.
Yeah, not knowing what, because that happened with me with Abathur. I lost every game with Abathur.
Would you go in there and try to tank with him, didn't you, Will?
No, I knew the basics of it. I just was so bad with him.
Well, for instance, just something that I experienced recently with the game going open. This was during open beta, not release. I was playing a game, and like I said, I've been playing for a while, so I do try to offer advice if I can.
Players,
but it was nice because it was actually somebody on the other team that was doing just terribly. They were playing as Lily, who is a healer and real squishy, and needs to stay out of the battle and stay back and just basically just hit Q repeatedly and heal everybody.
You don't even have to hit it. You just hold it down. And it'll heal automatically.
Really an easy character to play. But whoever was playing that character thought they had taken on the role of a tank and was just trying to soak up damage, and we were just killing left and right.
Yeah.
And if a team has a healer and they don't know what they're doing, like it's of absolutely no use.
Yeah.
And that they're basically down a person.
Yeah.
So that's what Will means by making sure you know your role and to practice and get to level 4.
Yeah. Do the other MOBAs have like support and like tank melee characters. And, and healers and or whatever.
They do. I see a lot of people on subreddits say that the support role in Heroes of the Storm is actually like more important because healing has more of a benefit because it's more like it feels bigger and more important. Yeah, I know in Dazzle was the healer in Dota 2, and I don't remember him being like, oh my god, like I just got a clutch heal and it saved me. Like I never remembered that.
Right. And
I mean, I only played like 50 hours of Dota, but like I would remember that because one of my friends played Dazzle.
Right.
So like playing Brightwing or Uther or Rhaegar or Lily, it's like huge because you get the heal and like I don't know.
I like playing Rhaegar. Because his heroic ability that I always choose is Ancestral Healing, and it basically just heals one of your teammates completely.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's nice if you're in like a team battle and you see somebody's about to die and you heal them back to full health. You know what I mean? It's a good feeling for everybody.
Yeah, and a surprise to the other team. Probably,
and everybody on the team's like, son of a bitch. They about had somebody killed, and it could have been, if they're about to kill your tank, that's big because everybody else on the team is probably squishy and can't take any damage.
Mm-hmm.
So
So support is definitely I feel like support is very, very important in Heroes as opposed to like Dota 2 or League.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tito's in the chat, so if he agrees, he can chime in with that. But
he's played a lot of League, so he's got a good comparison.
League and Dota do have some sort of objective things. But they're different. Like you don't take control of like a garden terror or a dragon, or turn collectible things into somebody, for them to help you. That's the difference.
That was always fun. Having fights over turning in the coins at Blackheart's Bay.
Yep.
Fuck that map.
And then the spider,
Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Tomb of the Spider Queen, turning those into.
Oh yeah.
Like it's always a showdown kind of right outside those objectives.
It becomes very strategic.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially on Blackheart's Bay, because there's only one turn-in spot, whereas on Tomb of the Spider Queen, you can turn your gems in at 2 different spots. So usually there's like more people at the top or the bottom of the map, so if you're paying attention, you can just be like, well, fuck, I'll just go to the other turn-in.
Right, because that's where the rest of my team is.
But Blackheart's Bay is different because it's the one pirate, and there's 2 steam stacks there, so you can hide and be invisible. So sometimes they'll just camp. I had one match, I don't know if I was playing with anybody here, but I had one match where we just could not turn coins in. And they were just camping the pirate the whole time. We just couldn't do anything. And they were turning their coins in. I don't know how they were doing it. Like they must have been rotating people in and out, you know what I mean? Just 3 people sitting there and 2 people getting coins or something, but I was a bastard.
Yeah.
But it's a good strategy. It's like playing Chelsea in English soccer.
Uh-huh.
Very defensive and boring, but they won the league.
Effective, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right. I sort of feel like Blackheart's Bay is the most, out of all the maps, like kind of off the wall with how it's played.
Hate it.
Because I don't know how to play it still. And I
thought we'd go through all the maps at some point.
That's the one with the weird lanes too, right?
Yeah, the middle lane is very strange.
Right.
Yeah, we'll save that for a little later, but yeah. Where were we? I don't even remember.
Dan asked about for new people jumping in.
A new player. Why Heroes
is better
as a new player? Yeah.
Not only that stuff, but Blizzard has built up such a good backlog of Diablo characters, StarCraft characters, World of Warcraft.
They're familiar characters.
Still huge.
Yeah.
So that's the part of it too. It's got recognizable characters that you're like, oh shit! I
I
remember playing Diablo. I want them to add the Butcher in,
right?
Which would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I was excited to play Diablo himself, and it's just fun playing characters like that.
Yeah,
so.
Characters that even me not being a Blizzard fan recognized a lot of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
In that Honest trailer, they're saying in Blizzard's MOBA, you have to pretend that Nova's sniper rifle can kill the actual devil.
Right.
So that was a funny line. But yeah, it's cool to see all these different types of characters from the different. Their big 3 franchises come into one, and their other ones like the Lost Vikings. It's kind of cool to see Arthas fighting Vala.
Right.
I think Dan kind of asked this already, but does League and Dota split it up into the assassin roles and healer roles and tank roles as dramatically?
That I don't know. I do know that the assassin role, the people know who the carry which is like the
Okay.
assassin. More
Oh,
like,
alright.
Our people like know which ones are the carry. And
Okay.
because I do remember whenever I would play with Corey's friend Matt, and I'd be like, "Oh, I want to try this character," and he's like, "Well, do you want to carry?" And that was always no, so I would never play that character.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I do like how like it's pretty clear, you know,
What
what
the
your
role is.
role is.
Yeah.
You know, after you play a few matches, you start to understand like why you have to play your role.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like if I play as Vala, which I started out as, I was an assassin, and you know they don't have many hit points. They do a lot of damage. So after the few first games where I was getting killed a lot, you know, you learn you have to stay back behind the battle, almost like a healer does.
Yeah.
But you're using your skills to deal damage to the other team
Yeah.
instead of healing.
They said that they want to break down the roles a little bit better because they feel like somebody like Zagara and Sylvanas don't play very differently from a lot of different other specialists, and Sonya is not as tanky as like other warriors. So
Sonya's not tanky.
so they want to like split them into like even more like different like more precise categories.
I could see that with Sonya. The other tanks I think are pretty good.
Mhm.
Do you want to get into heroes now? Because I thought
Sure.
we'd talk about them. Do you want to move on to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get into the heroes.
Corey, do you have any thoughts before we?
I have a
get-
couple thoughts. I was kind of waiting for the right time to squeeze them in there, but go ahead, keep plugging along.
Keep going. All right. So I don't know. We can start with let's start with the tanks.
I broke them down into franchise.
It's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go over the Diablo characters. There's Diablo, which is obvious. Asmodan. The new character is Johanna, who's the Crusader from Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, the expansion character. And then there's Nazeebo, who's the Witch Doctor, Sonya the Barbarian, Vala the Demon Hunter, and then Tyrael.
Some of my favorite characters are in the Diablo set. I really like Diablo as a tank. We can explain what tank and all that means too.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just go over him. Diablo is a tank. I think him and ETC, who we'll go over later, are the top tier tanks.
Yep.
Still, right?
Yeah.
Although I bet you Johanna might go in there.
I played a game with Johanna today. I was kind of like, oh, she's cool today. I
Yeah.
was like, she's awesome.
She's really good. Like, I think that with that one specifically, they nailed what that role is supposed to be, because boy does she just soak
Soak up
damage,
damage.
and she's such a bastard to
to
kill.
yeah.
Like there's no builds obviously, so I started out. Will was gracious enough to let me use her first because we bought her at the same time, and we were both like, well, we got to get her to level 5.
Yeah.
So the build I was using, I was trying to read over the abilities as quickly as I could, and she gets one that gives her a decent sized health burst if you get in trouble. She has her D ability, which is each character has a different sort of D ability. Hers makes her invulnerable for a short period of time and soaks a bunch of damage, so it shields her that way. And then late game, there's also another ability that you can get where if you lose all your hit points, instead of dying, it shields you.
Wow.
And the first ability that I take is a health regen buff. So instead of dying, I'm shielded and I'm regenerating health, and I can burst my health back.
Yeah.
Like it's
Insane.
pretty hard to kill her.
Okay.
Like
O-
I mean, I
OP?
play. Here's the thing though, because I don't think she's OP because she does no damage.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you're not gonna get a lot of kills with her. But at the same time, it's up to the other team to not focus her.
Right.
Yeah.
And to focus their attention on a player who's going to do damage and actually take them out of the battle. If they just focus on her, they have no chance in a team fight.
Yeah, the DPS will melt your team before you get a chance to even
Yeah.
kill her.
Right.
So yeah, as far as her and Diablo, I think are the two tanks. Asmodan's not a tank.
Tyrael and Sonya are.
Oh yeah, Tyrael. Well, Diablo is probably my second favorite tank. He does a little more damage, I'd say, than Johanna does, but
Yeah.
he's good at the pullback, and knocking people back into the action where his team is. And actually, one of my favorite plays with Diablo is to sit by your gate, and if somebody from the other team gets too close, to pull them over your gate, and then they're screwed. They can't
just
get out,
take
and they
them in
just
and
get
kill 'em.
murdered.
Pummeled on by the towers and everything.
Yeah. So I enjoyed Diablo. I think I played more tanks than you, Will.
Yeah, I only play as one tank really. Maybe two now because of Johanna, but I play Tyrael a lot. So.
I own Stitches, ETC, Diablo, Johanna. I think I own Tyrael.
Oh wow.
I own quite a few tanks. It's fun. I like playing that role. and I think it's more fun with Johanna because she does a lot of debuffs to the other team. Instead of damage, she does a lot of slows and silences and stuff like that.
Yeah, like her W ability will be like there's an aura around her, and everybody in the area of that will get pulled into her. So like if you have a team by you and like they're on the edge of your thing, they'll get pulled back just enough that your like DPS can kill whoever you bring in time, so they don't get away. It's nice.
You can talk about Tyrael. You like Tyrael.
Yeah, I like Tyrael a lot. He is one of the tanks that people want to be better than he is. I think he's fine, personally. But like his Q ability is really cool because he throws his sword into an area, then you press it again and you teleport to where your sword is. So like if a hero is trying to get away, you can chase them down that way. You can use that to get away, or you can use that as a tactic to like engage the enemy, which is what I do a lot. And then his W ability gives him a heal and a shield, which is nice, and everybody surrounding in that area can get that too. And then his E ability is just like a slash attack that does like 200 damage. So he doesn't have as much hit points as like a Diablo or Johanna. He has like maybe 200 to 300. I think when I was playing Tyrael and you were Johanna, at the end I was like 400 hit points away.
Yeah.
So like he's a little less tanky than those ones, but he's still like pretty solid. And his passive is pretty cool. When he dies, he becomes a ghost. And he can follow people, and he has a timer. And when the timer expires, he explodes and does a lot of damage. So that helps with, killing. Like, if you get killed in a team fight early, but there's some enemies that are weak, you can kill them all with that.
Gotcha.
So that's nice to have.
See, when I don't like playing as Tyrael. When I play a tank, I like to play, like, a tank with a lot of hit points because I like to get right in the scrum.
Yeah.
That's why I like Johanna so much. The character that I've used the most as a Diablo character, Vala, is the one that I started with, and as I said before, she's an assassin, which does a lot of the damage. I really like her a lot. I don't know, she's not my favorite character to play with, but it's just the one I grasped onto at first for whatever reason. I like that she was a demon hunter and had 2 crossbows in her hands. I thought it was cool. She's fun to play though. She does a good area damage where she shoots her arrows into like a cone.
Hungering
arrow that hits multiple enemies in a small area. I haven't played her in a while.
It has been a while with some
She's
of these
got
characters.
a good stun for her heroic ability too, but it's kind of hard because what it does is it forms a straight line ahead of you, and it's almost like these meteors that come out of the sky or something, and they stun the other team. But it does like one row, and then the opposite team has a chance to get out of it before the next row comes down.
Yeah.
So I don't love her thing. It's good if you can hit it and keep them in the line where it's hitting, but it's tough to do that.
Yeah.
That's a little bit like was it Raynor?
Oh, with his Hyperion.
His Hyperion orbital bombing.
Yeah.
Like it never works on players unless you're really lucky and can trap them in an area.
You need to trap
but
them.
it's better for buildings and stuff. Like it does a lot of siege damage.
It's good to do it like if you're on a map like Sky Temple and they're collecting the temple, shrine, whatever it is. The temples to shoot lasers at the bases, and you can send that in there and clear them out, and then you can go in and get it. So you got to be creative with Raynor's. That's one of his ultimates, at least.
One of my favorite characters is a Diablo character. Nazebo is a blast.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do is trap somebody into his zombie circle. So you just have to place it really well, and it's hard to do, which is why it's so satisfying when you land it and trap somebody inside it. And the great thing about Nazebo is not only can he trap people, but he does a lot of damage, especially late game. After level 10, I think if you trap one person, as long as it's not a tank with a lot of hit points, if you were to trap like an assassin or a healer in the zombies, you could probably kill them right then by yourself.
Oh, yeah.
If you have, because I always pick Envenom with him, and that does a lot of damage. So if you have all of your abilities available and you haven't used Envenom, if you just unload all 4 attacks on them right then, they're probably done.
Yeah.
Which is really satisfying.
I have a little bit of experience with Nazebo. I played him I think I got him to level like 6 or 7 maybe.
Yeah.
I really like Nazebo a lot.
He's fun. He's a weird little dude too.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Asmodan?
Asmodan.
That's who I've been playing with recently, right?
Oh, yeah.
Asmodan's fucking great. I think he's going to be the next one I buy. Super good at sieging walls. He has this one ability where it's like a laser that he shoots out, and it's constant. It just drains your mana, but it doesn't drain it too much to the point where it's a hindrance to him. Actually, I think it should drain it more than it does because it does a lot of damage to heroes, and it also takes out towers and walls so quick.
Yeah.
Like when Will and I were playing, like if they don't pay attention to you when you're playing Asmodan, I took down towers and walls like super quick into the game.
There's 2 characters you do not want to leave in a lane alone, and one of them is Asmodan. The other one we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But Asmodan's a beast.
Yeah.
I think he's underrated.
I think he is too after playing him. He's expensive.
Yeah, because I don't see him competitively being played a lot.
Yeah.
No, the handful of competitive matches I watched, the characters were pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Every match.
It's the same, like,
maybe 1 or 2 character variances, but they were the same over the course of a few matches, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, those are... Do we want to talk... Corey, did you want to say anything about Nazebo? You play him a lot, too.
I do. I like to... Eric was talking a little bit about it, but you drop the zombie wall on somebody and then put the Gargantuan in there with him.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It pretty much takes care of him for you. You can just walk away at that point. Drop the mic and walk away.
Corey, uninstall for the Gargantuan.
Yeah, the Gargantuan is the noob pick, but it's the most fun. And I always pick Nazebo because, like Eric said, he's a lot of fun to play. And I don't care what anybody tells me if I'm playing it wrong or whatever. I play the way that makes it the most fun for me, and that's, I don't know, that's how I enjoy that game.
How dare you, Corey?
Yeah, the people who get mad about your build they're dumb.
Yeah.
I had somebody tell me that about my Stitches build when I did Hero League, and I was like, sorry, man. Like, this is what I do.
That's what I've always used.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
worked. Sorry.
Just tell him to go blow.
All right.
That's
What
what
else we got for heroes? We should probably
StarCraft?
speed them up a little bit.
StarCraft. You got Abathur, Nova, Raynor, Kerrigan, Sergeant Hammer, Tychus, Tassadar, Zeratul, and Zagara.
Tassadar, probably my favorite character. He's a support character. He does not heal all that much. I do pick Healing Ward with him, so it does like an area heal. But the thing I like about him is the shield that he provides is really well used. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And he has a good attack. His W attack, it like puts a blast of lightning in a small circle. But the other team always freaks out when they see it. So what you do, they always have a tendency to back up when you launch it. So you put it so that they're on the front edge of it. So when they go running backwards, they run through the whole circle.
Yep.
And I don't remember what level you unlock this ability. It's one of the last few, but he gets second strike, so he can actually do it twice. So you can literally just put 2 circles, and they just run right through the whole thing.
Nice.
It's great. It's just these little things that you pick up on. They just run backwards out of instinct. So he's one of my favorite characters to play. I actually purchased the skin for him.
Nice.
Was it the Crypt King one?
Crypt King.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's alright.
Uh,
I only got it because it's got themed abilities, and I didn't even notice it,
oh, really?
which pissed me off. But whatever.
Anyway, my favorite is Nova. She's like the #1. Her and Zeratul, actually, both from the same game, are the 2 like best hero killers in the game. They don't really do a whole lot other than that, though. Basically, they have an invisible shimmer, but they're invisible to the human eye. But there's like a little like shimmer on the map, so you can kind of see where they are. So like that's their.
Took me forever to get used to it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't still say I'm used to it.
Yeah, it takes a while to get used to it. You have to be young.
Yeah, it's my poor eyes.
But once you start to notice it more, like you'll be able to pick up on it. So it's not as big of a deal. But yeah, Nova's great at killing people.
I hate playing against Nova. Will plays a good Nova though. He does.
Thank you.
Yeah. I hate playing against Nova though. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, if they're good, they know how to really make you angry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, she's an assassin. Zeratul is an assassin. Tychus is an assassin. Raynor is an assassin, and Kerrigan is an assassin. And
it's surprising to me that Raynor is an assassin. He seems kind of useless
He's,
for the most part.
He's got it. I love his heroic ability.
Which one? Not the
spaceship that hovers over above
The Hyperion
in an
one.
area.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like it too, but it doesn't work. Like, if you're an assassin, your focus would be to kill heroes, and it doesn't really work for that unless you're lucky or...
It's just good in bailing out in a team fight if it's
Yeah,
not
to
going
push
your way.
people away.
It's the same situation as Tassadar's attack. People freak out when they see it, and
Yeah,
they just
they
start
move out of the
running
way.
like chickens with their head cut off, and like it kind of just breaks up the attack.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can see that. I started because I played Raynor a little bit. I think I got him to level like maybe 7. I started using it for siege damage on buildings and walls and stuff, and it worked really well for that. But
it's a multi-purpose.
I always felt like I was useless in a team fight. Because he's squishy, I would get killed like so fast.
Raynor sucks.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Raynor because he's the tutorial guy, and I was not fond of him. He's one of the only heroes I don't really like that much.
I prefer Tychus.
Okay.
If I'm gonna play a StarCraft assassin.
Yeah.
But there's not much to say about Tychus. Anybody else worth noting there? Is
Sergeant Hammer?
Abathur?
Abathur and Sergeant Hammer, Zagara, Abathur, and Sergeant Hammer are all specialists. Zagara is really good at doing damage.
I've never used Zagara.
She's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't play her a lot. She can leave creep tumors, which help when with the Zerg, like the purple ground they make, and they corrupt the land.
Okay.
When you spawn your guys as Zagara, like the Zerglings and stuff like that, they get a boost and stuff like that. And then you have vision in that area. I was wondering what that did.
So
that's like you see that air around there. Man. So it's pretty like when you're Zagara, like you have to do that and stuff like that.
Nice.
Sergeant Hammer is really good at dealing damage and sieging. She's another really popular hero.
I actually, after I got the hang of Hammer, I hated her at first.
I did too.
After I got the hang of her, I really liked her. Mm-hmm. I like playing the siege characters.
They're fun.
It's fun. You have a defined role, and if you can accomplish what you're supposed to, it's very helpful.
I was a fan if I had Sergeant Hammer on my team and they were good at what they were doing, because you'd be not paying attention, and then you'd look and the other side's defenses were all wiped out.
Yep.
None of us of the other characters knew that was going on, but Sergeant Hammer was just chipping away at the other team's defenses, and they were gone.
Just don't first pick her in Hero League or you'll get yelled at.
Well, yeah.
Hammer?
Yeah. Wasn't it you, Corey, that played and somebody first picked Sergeant Hammer and then somebody said good game when it started?
Yep.
Nothing pisses me off more than that.
In the draft.
In the fucking draft.
Good game.
Good for that.
Anyway, we can get to saltiness in a bit.
Abathur, not even going to begin to explain because Abathur does so much stuff going on. It's probably the most unique hero I've seen out of all of the games.
I haven't tried Abathur either.
That's another point I wanted to bring up, though, while we're on the subject of Abathur. One thing I really like about the game that I haven't really played the other ones, the other MOBAs to an extent where I'd know, but the way they implement those sort of novelty characters like Abathur and Murky, and also Tito mentioned it earlier in the chat, but the ability to play as the objectives, like when you get the Garden Terror and the Dragon, you can play as that. And I don't know, the way they kind of seamlessly integrate that stuff, as crazy and weird as it is, makes it a lot of fun and kind of changes the whole gameplay a little bit.
Yeah. And it works. It doesn't feel out of place, overpowered. It gives your team enough of a boost that if you're down and you focus on an objective, you can turn the match around.
Yeah. And then another sort of novelty character, for lack of a better word, is the Lost Vikings. The way they split up and can go in separate lanes, all that stuff is done really well. And there's such a huge opportunity to screw that up and either make it overpowered or worthless. But I think they integrate it pretty well, and it makes for a lot more interesting things to happen.
The thing is when you have somebody on your team or the other team that knows how to use Abathur or Lost Vikings, you're either fucked or you're in good shape. Because I got lucky enough, one day I just got on by myself, and I got in a group with somebody who was looking for a group, and he was playing as Abathur. And he was a nice guy before the match, and he's like, we get into the match, and he's like, everybody, when I ping something, just go to it. It's going to help us win. And everybody did it, and he was so good at playing Abathur. Next thing you knew, he had sieged the walls almost completely. I have no idea what he was doing.
I played Abathur, and I have no idea how he sieged either, because I don't know.
Apparently there's a siege build, and, he had opened up 2 of the lanes. And I was just like, what the fuck? How did he even do this?
Because he's controlling the hat on your head.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what he did, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It's so fun playing with this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you find people like that to play with, it's a blast because it just helps your team so much.
Yeah.
And I like finding somebody who likes to be the leader. I'll do it, but I'd rather not. I'd rather have somebody else be like, all right, this is what we should do, and not be a dick about it.
Yeah.
Just be like, let's just do this and we'll win.
Yeah.
And if everybody does it, you probably will.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
I wonder if there's a way in matchmaking they could have people who designate themselves as like a hero and match with players that, like me, I wouldn't want to be designated as a leader because I don't know the game well enough to be able to pick, okay, this is what we're going to do now. I'd rather just follow directions.
Like a checkbox that says, I like to be the leader.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Because I'm sure there's plenty of people like us that would rather not.
Yeah.
I hate doing it.
I'll put pings out there and, what we should do, but, I'd rather... I don't like feeling like I fucked up the team.
Yeah.
Fucked everybody over.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it's just a game, I guess, but...
Still.
All right, let's keep going.
Last but not least, Warcraft. Nothing to say about StarCraft, right?
Last but not least.
The biggest section.
Yeah, by far.
All right, I hope you're all sitting for this. This is going to be a while. Anu Barak, Arthas, Gazlo, Illidan, Jaina, Kael'thas, Rhaegar, Thrall, Tyrande, Uther, Brightwing, Chen, ETC, Falstad, Lili, Malfurion, Mirrodin, Murky, Stitches, and Sylvanas.
Oof.
The only one I can talk about is Lili because that's the character I played the most as.
I don't like Lili.
I liked Lili because Lili's easy to play. Like
that's why I don't like her.
I didn't have to do much.
I get so bored.
I just had to not die.
Yeah.
And hold down the Q button to heal. And
She's
then
a great starting character.
Yeah, I had, especially for me, because like I said, I didn't play nearly as much as you guys to learn the healing role, and what you need to do as a healer. I thought Lili was a good character for that. Because she has some decent escapability too. Like if you run into trouble, she's got some abilities that can help her stay alive.
She boosts speed if she's being attacked, right?
Boost speed.
Yep.
She's also got an ability that makes the next 2 and then later on 3 attacks miss you. So if you get into some trouble and an assassin has an ability loaded up to blast you in one hit, if you use that at the right time, it'll miss you and you can get away.
She's a popular character. A lot of people play Lili, and I hate seeing her on the other team.
Yeah, because we have to try and kill her, and she's impossible to get.
A bastard to kill.
So slippery.
And then I always liked she has a shrink ray too.
Yeah,
which I always liked using.
I picked that for Tassadar too.
Yeah, because if the other team's not paying attention, they're floating around, they get a little too close to you. You shrink them, it slows them down, and they're a lot more squishy than usual. So that's
powerless.
Nice. That's a nice ability to have. That was my one offensive thing that I would pick with Lili.
Mm-hmm. I mean, my 2, 3, and 4 favorite characters in the game are Sylvanas, Jaina, and Brightwing. So Brightwing's a healer. Brightwing's also the funniest character in the game, I think, with her dialogue. She's zany.
Yeah, that's another thing. The characters kind of talk to each other when
and that is something that's very underrated, I think.
Yeah.
Some of it's really funny.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention, you might not notice it, but it's really fun to watch the characters interact with each other.
When I was playing Johanna yesterday or whatever day it was, a couple days ago, we were playing a match and I had killed, I don't remember who, it might have been Uther on the other team a few times.
It was Diablo.
And after I killed him again, she goes, "How many times is that now, Diablo?" And I just started giggling to myself. I was like, yes. But yeah, and actually, Dan, this is something they added since you've stopped playing.
Yeah. It's been 2 months, I think, since the last time I played.
Some of the new skins that they're putting out have new voiceovers.
Oh, that's cool.
Or themed abilities, which is really cool.
Yeah, Brightwing has a monkey skin, so she talks like a monkey. And it's even crazier than what it was before. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I like go to the hero interactions on YouTube and just listen to what they're saying to each other. Some of it's pretty funny and good stuff. Yeah. And the lore is built in, so characters like Illidan and Tyrande who have a past together, they bring up stuff like that. It's cool to hear all of that for the lore nerds out there.
Tito in the chat said he loves Illidan.
Yeah, Illidan's a very popular character too.
Illidan's the one that you hate having on the other team, right?
Yep. There's a good Illidan.
That's what I'm trying to remember all these names, and that was one of the ones I always hated playing against.
He just comes in and beats the living shit out of you.
If I'm doing Hero League and I see the other team picked Illidan, I always pick Brightwing because Brightwing can turn you into an animal, and that pretty much stops Illidan in his tracks right away.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
See, that's the part I don't know yet, is who to pick to counteract who the other team
one
has.
Specific character, annoying character.
I know how to play the heroes that I know, but I don't know who to pick in certain situations.
To negate someone's ability, someone else's ability.
I guess that's my next step to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Rhaegar is my favorite healer. He's in Warcraft. If I pick a healer, that's who I always pick. I'm trying to think who else I use a lot from Warcraft. I don't.
Sylvanas.
Yeah, Sylvanas is really good. I like her because she sieges.
Don't leave her in a lane alone.
No.
If you're playing, because then next thing you know, she'll be at your core.
Because she silences towers so they don't shoot at her.
Mm-hmm.
And she just picks them apart.
And you won't kill her one-on-one either.
No.
So, Jaina's a glass cannon. She has probably one of the, besides Murky, the least hit points in the game. But boy,
Jaina's a big pussy.
Boy, does she deal a lot of damage, though.
Yeah. Didn't like playing as Jaina. She was too squishy.
You need to be very good with positioning with her. She's like the position character.
Yeah. Does Falstad in there?
Yep, Falstad.
Falstad's pretty fun because he can fly across the map. That's instead of having a mount because he's on an eagle or some sort of bird.
Griffin or something.
Griffin. Instead of having a mount to use, he can just fly to any spot across the map.
Yeah, I always hated trying to chase him down.
Yeah, he's a bastard.
In a team fight, he always got
get
away.
He does a lot of damage too.
He's another underrated assassin. I feel like.
You want to move on to maps?
Yeah, let's go on to maps. So yeah, I went over Tomb of the Spider Queen.
That's possibly my favorite map.
It's one of mine too. I'm terrible at it, but it's really cool.
I think I have a good win rate on that one. I'm over 50% on all of them except Garden of Terror.
Ugh, that map.
I actually don't mind it as much as I used to, but yeah, I like Tomb of the Spider Queen is a lot of fun. I like the objective in it. Calling down the spiders to come help you is a blast, and trying to clear out the lane to let them drop as far into the enemy territory as you can is always a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way it looks.
Yeah, it's got a nice color scheme.
Yep.
It's
Purple.
Purple's a nice color to me. I don't know why.
Yeah. Not much else to say about it.
Yeah, no, we talked about it a little bit before.
Is that a Diablo map?
No. All the maps right now are not based off any game.
Oh, they're not?
No. The Diablo map's the first one.
Oh, nice.
It's based in its own... The Nexus is basically what it is.
You should do a Paladol... Oh, that's EverQuest.
Paladol Caverns.
They should still do it.
Yep.
Just rip it off.
Yeah. What else?
Sky Temple.
Sky Temple's fun.
Yeah, it's my highest win rate.
Was it?
Yeah.
So the objective on that one is the top, middle, and bottom of the map. There's a temple. It's a circular temple, and you periodically throughout the match, a timer goes off, and your team has to go stand on the circle, and it'll shoot lasers at the enemy base to try and take it apart. But different ones spring up at different times throughout the match, so it creates a good team fight. Pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if there's only one, all 10 people are going to be at that temple.
Yeah, like the second pop is the bottom one. I've learned that.
Yeah.
I know the first pop and the second pop. After that, I'm lost.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I forgot which one it was.
Yeah.
This map is very yellow, so if you don't like a yellow color palette, you're not going to like this map. It's
kind of like an Egyptian feel.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like Act 2 of Diablo 3.
What else?
Garden of Terror.
Garden of Terror is cool. Actually, this one grew on me. This is one of the ones that we were talking about where you can actually take over a more powerful being, the terror itself. So what you do, there's a countdown again, and when the countdown is over, little seedlings pop up, and then an actual garden terror that you have to kill pops up, and they all drop seeds, and after you collect 100 of them, back at your home base, your own Garden of Terror will pop, and you have to go take control of it. What I've learned... The best thing to do, especially if the other team is just coming for you, is to go drop the plant at the enemy's first base, the first wall there, so that it like constricts and tries to like pull it apart.
Yeah.
Run to another lane and do it at all the different lanes.
That's what I do too.
Yeah, so it just like breaks them each down, and usually you can get through one of them and take the other two down about halfway.
Mm-hmm.
It's I think it's the best strategy that I've found.
Yeah, I do that a lot too.
But yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty interesting one.
The only reason why the maps I say I don't like them is because I lose a lot on them. I do like all of the maps a lot.
The only one I don't like is Pirates Bay.
Yeah, but yeah, this is a very fun map. It's as like we had talked about. You control like this beast, and it's just cool to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it breaks the gameplay up a little bit too.
Yeah.
So.
Next one's Haunted Mines, which is my second best map.
That's my favorite one.
Is it?
Yeah, this one is basically, this is a 2-lane map, so there's not that much lanes in it. But what happens is the mines open up, and it's this separate part of the map that you go like.
It's like a mini map.
Yeah,
it's
underground.
It's an underground area that's another part of the map, and you're fighting in these mines, and you're killing these like dead, I don't know, undead beast things.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe them.
Yeah.
Little skull monsters. or
Yeah,
something.
little undead skull monsters, and they drop skulls. And there's 100 in this area, and there's I think 8 groups of small ones, and then there's this big one. And then once whoever gets the most skulls gets a more powerful golem, and they both attack each other.
Yeah.
So the breakdown could be 70-30, and you could have a more powerful one, or you can have a weaker one, and everybody has to strategize how they're gonna break down the team to go fight off the one that's attacking, or siege with the one that's siege on your team.
Right.
So it adds that layer to it.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's good stuff. It's a fun map.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, if you get a golem that's more overpowered, or you have to fight one, man, are they a bastard to take down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they just you're doing everything you can to take it down, and it's just ripping through your base, and you're
it's like having 3 tanks in a team fight.
yeah, right.
Ugh,
As it's doing the little root things that you get caught on.
every time.
Same here. The next one is another one of my favorites. Is Cursed Hollow.
Yeah, I actually really like Cursed Hollow. It's probably my second favorite one. I don't know. I don't really know why. It's just fun going to the
Tributes.
tribute whenever it comes up. If you collect 3 tributes, what it does is it makes all of the enemy minions have 1 hit point, and which helps you level quickly and just take them out.
Mhm.
And then also the towers and cannon towers and keeps don't attack you. So, I mean, you can just hammer on them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also fun because, again, a big team fight always happens at when the
Tribute.
tribute pops up, and it just is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Corey, one of Corey's favorite Nazebo moves is on that map too, right, Corey?
Which map?
oh,
Which map?
yeah. That's a good one for that map.
Cursed Hollow.
Which one's that? I don't even remember.
Where you collect the tributes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because you can use the wall to block people off or protect whoever's picking it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very handy in that one. That's the other thing that I don't know too well yet is what characters to use on which map.
Yeah.
That's in-depth stuff.
The only one that definitely has one is Gazlowe. It's a situational map pick.
I like Gazlowe.
Yeah.
He's fun.
Gazlowe's good on Sky Temple, especially.
Oh, okay.
So.
Cool.
Well, I don't like to use Nazebo on the mines, because with the build that I use, I need to get a lot of minion kills, and you just don't get that.
2 lanes.
Yeah, you're right.
Gotcha.
So there is situations for sure.
The next one is the most basic of all of them. It's Dragon Trier.
I really love that one. That's in my top 3.
Because it's cool because there's 2 different shrines on the top and the bottom, and you have to have both of them captured. And then there's one in the middle that you have to go collect, and you take over this big dragon.
One of my favorite things to do on this map, and I kind of learned this from watching pro players, is you definitely need to make sure that your team takes one of the bases or one of the shrines, whatever.
Yeah.
And hold it and basically just wait for the other team to get frustrated and make a mistake.
Yeah.
I don't like when the team splits up to go get the 2 immediately, because it just never works out. I don't.
The
feel
other
like.
players have to be pretty bad for it to work out.
Yeah, they do. So it's best if you just stick together, take one of the shrines, and wait for the other team to make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that takes a while. When we played the other day, was that the map that we had the 40-minute match on?
Yes.
It was, because
Yeah.
that happened. Nobody could get the second shrine, and we were going for how long?
I think we had 20 minutes in between getting the dragon.
I think we got to level 10 before anybody even got the
A dragon, yeah.
which is crazy. If you haven't played, you'd want to understand that. But that's a long time. A 40-minute match is a long match in Heroes of the Storm.
That's your 2-hour match in Dota early.
Yeah. So that one has a lot of strategy involved with how to get the dragon, and you have to strategize kind of time it right. If you know that you're going to capture both shrines, making the dragon available to you, you have to make sure somebody's either there or on their way to the dragon before the other team comes and stops you. And there's a lot of good strategy involved with that, and how you use the dragon is important too.
Right.
Because he's a little squishier than the Garden Terror or the Golem can be.
Yeah.
So it's best if you have the team with you to try and take people out, because if you go into the enemy base with the dragon by yourself, you're not going to last very long.
Yeah.
So.
He deals more damage the later the game, though.
He does,
which is
yeah.
a nice little boost to make him not
Right.
useless.
He's the one that punts people too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
It's fun, and he does fire breath. So it's a good one.
Last but not least, Blackheart's Bay.
I hate Blackheart's Bay so much, and I hate when it comes up, and I wish I could back out every time. I hate how there's no structure to the middle of the map, and I just prefer the maps where it's 3 lanes or 2 lanes, whatever, but there's a clear structure to it, and like you know where the minions are you're supposed to go, because I just lose track.
It's that one's all twisted and stuff. The bottom lane is like okay, but like all the stuff up top is like kind of twisted. And
there's one watchtower up there.
Yeah, it's weird.
And like I don't know. I just don't feel like it has any flow to it. I never know what I should go do.
Yeah.
I never know where I should be. Where the other maps, I feel like I usually have a pretty good idea of what I should be doing, unless we're getting our asses absolutely kicked.
Right.
Like I feel like I know kind of where I should be or what I should be doing. But Blackheart's Bay, I never know what I'm doing. I hate that so much.
Yeah, because you don't know if you should be in the lane soaking or in the like trying to get the doubloons because you can't do both effectively.
Yeah. It's a bastard.
It's weird. It's a tough map. But that's all the maps though.
Okay.
There's the Diablo one coming, so.
Yeah.
But other than that, do you have anything else?
I don't think so. I mean, there's ranked play and stuff like that. We haven't done too much of that. I haven't.
I'm 46 rank. Like that's
you have to get to player rank 40 or 30 before you can do Hero League, right?
Yes.
So you have to rank your account up to level 30 before you can get into ranked play, and then if you get to level 40 player account, you can do Team League, which you have a set like 5-man roster.
Which we need to do.
We do need to do that, but we haven't done experienced too much with that yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Corey, do you have any thoughts you wanna chime in with? And then I've got a couple more questions to ask.
I don't think so. I don't have anything to add.
Okay. One of the things that you should probably address is, one of the complaints about it is the snowballing. You guys want to talk about that a little bit?
This isn't snowbally. The game, when people say it's very snowbally, it surprises me because this is like one game that I always feel like I can come back in.
Yeah.
And I don't know why people feel like it's really snowbally.
Right.
I just don't get it.
I agree. I don't think it is either. There's been plenty of times, and honestly, I feel like I don't ever. I mean, you can tell when you're not going to come back, but there's plenty of times where I honestly feel like the longer the match goes, the more of a chance you have to come back, and it always seems to come back around even level wise.
Yeah.
Which, if it comes back around level wise, you at least have a puncher's chance of winning a team fight and then going in.
Which can change the pace of the game.
Exactly. We had something like that happen in that 40-minute match that we played. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we had like one of those turning points where we won a team fight and it just changed everything.
Yeah.
Because it was really evenly matched. But even games where you're falling behind 3-4 levels early on, I feel like there's usually a chance for you to come back.
Yeah.
You just gotta play it right, really.
Yeah.
That's
even me, who has by far the least amount of experience with it, I've been in matches where we had no business winning, but somehow like we got together as a team and ended up like pulling a match out. Like I remember one specific one, we lost probably every single team fight. I don't know how we were. I think we were like maybe 3 or 4 levels behind.
This was on Haunted Minds. I remember it.
And all of a sudden, one of the guys, it was the one guy on the team who we didn't know that we were playing with, and he's like, "Let's just push the core right now." Why not?
Because they went in the mines, right?
I think they went in the mines for something. He's like, "Let's push the core," and we won. Like we had enough time to push the core and destroy the core while the other team was farting around, even though they wiped the floor with us the entire game.
If they're not paying attention, that can definitely happen. That's one of the things about that map. And I've had experiences like that too with my friend Alex. He plays Diablo a lot, and Diablo has an ability where if you have collected enough souls through minion kills, you do a quick respawn after you die. Mm-hmm. So we were probably going to lose, and he's like, they're going to push the core here. I'm going to respawn and just go sneak to their core and try and take it out. Because it was down far enough where he had a fighting chance, and he did it, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's like awesome when you pull it off.
And if he hadn't done it, we would have lost.
Yeah.
So, I mean, stuff like that happens. It might not happen all the time, but it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
That's why I get so frustrated when people say good game. Because that's what you say at the end of the game, good game.
Yeah, after it's over.
When people say it at the beginning of the game in the first 5 minutes, I'm like, all right, man. Really?
Yeah.
Like, it's been 5 minutes.
Yeah. And honestly, anything can happen in the game. So, like, don't just quit.
You have one more question?
No, that was it. I thought that was something we should address because that is a common complaint from MOBA vets about Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, that I don't find that
I don't buy
valid.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't either. I mean, I have very little experience with Dota, so I don't know. But there was only like maybe 3 or 4 matches that I played out of the like 30 that I played that I really didn't feel like we had a chance of coming back and winning. But that's probably the case anywhere, you know.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty normal.
So,
we should say that there are a lot of as in the other MOBAs, there's saltiness.
yeah.
People are rude.
I got in before I played my time before the saltiness really started.
I don't think it's avoidable, honestly.
I only had 1 or 2 people that were dicks. They weren't complete ass wipes. They were just kind of dicks.
The reason I say it's unavoidable in games like that is because I can see why they get so mad.
Right.
Because I get that mad too, and I just try to control it and not freak out on people who haven't played before.
Well,
I've learned that from Corey.
You're 30 and not 13.
Yeah, but still, Dan, knowing myself, my initial reaction would be, hey, would you fucking play better?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I try to watch Corey and how he approaches it, and I try to do what he does and be
Right.
more friendly and offer help. And if somebody else is being a dick, just be like, hey, you know, you're not being very nice. Why don't you offer him help instead
Yeah.
of being mean to him? So I learned that from Corey, and it's helped me to
Yeah.
keep calm while I play, too. But that's why it's unavoidable, is I can definitely see where it would be frustrating, like if you've played a lot
Right.
and you have somebody who's never played before. But at the same time, like, you have to realize if you're playing in a quick match, that can happen.
Yeah, you're gonna run into people who have
Go
never
play
played.
ranked if you want to be that serious about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Okay.
Chill out, everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's probably it, right? I think we gave it the long.
Yeah. I mean, it's an easy recommend. If you've never played a MOBA before, it's an easy one to get into. You should try it.
It's free.
It's free. Exactly. It doesn't have.
Oh yeah, that's one of the draws too.
Right. Exactly. it's free to you can spend money on it if you want, but you can also play it for free. It probably spec wise, it doesn't require that powerful of a PC. So
It runs better on lower range computers than higher.
does it?
Yep.
Okay. That's one of those, huh?
Yeah, it's one of those
poorly
games.
optimized games.
Yep.
I really enjoyed my time with it. I probably won't ever play it again. I can't see myself playing it again, but
I love having it there.
I did have fun with it when I did play it.
I've spent a lot of money on it too.
Have you?
I have on just buying characters, buying skins.
Yeah.
I don't think I've bought a mount yet,
Okay.
but I'm sure time will come. Oh, I do want to buy a mount.
Yeah, same here. I should mention that it follows the League of Legends pricing or free-to-play model and not Dota. So if you're from Dota and you go in and you want to play all the heroes that are unlocked, you're not going to do that. There's a free week.
A rotation
Yeah.
each week.
So don't just hate the game because not everything is free right away.
One of my favorite things each week is seeing who's on sale that week. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Corey, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I was thinking about it today. I think the best way to approach this game for me is like any other sports game, like an NHL or something like that. Just something to do here and there.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, not take it too serious.
Yeah, have a couple beers, sit down, play a few rounds of Heroes of the Storm, and call it an evening, you know?
Yeah, I think that's... I mean, you can definitely play it very seriously.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you can definitely do what Corey said, play some quick matches here and there with your buddies. I would say, if you can at all help it, try and play with friends.
Yeah. It's more
As
fun.
many friends as you can. If you
Yeah.
can get a 5-man team together, it's not only is it more fun, but you avoid anybody being a prick.
Yeah, because
Unless you hang out with pricks.
you can't talk to the other team, so
Right. So yeah, that would be a recommendation too.
yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts on Heroes of the Storm before we
No,
take
but
a
I
quick
did
break?
want to say, Will and I had a playing marathon the other day in preparation for this. We played for
Nice.
6.5 straight hours.
Wow.
And we only lost 3 matches.
Wow.
Yeah, we won one on every map that night.
Nice.
Pound it.
That was probably the
and
best.
using a new character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
We were both using Johanna.
So that was good stuff. That's when the game's fun.
Right.
But like, it just came out to everybody, so there were a lot of noobs on, and you can clearly tell who didn't know what they were doing.
There was only like 2 games that we won that I was like, oh, that was pretty even.
The 40-minute match was an epic match. Great win.
I sweated through that whole one.
But we
Nice.
should put
Yeah.
a bow on it.
Yep. All right, we're going to take a quick break and be back with Nibble Bits and our weeks right after this. All right.
And we never have to talk about it again.
Well, I thought that earlier today. I was like, this should probably be the last time we talk about Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
At most, I'll be like, oh, I played Heroes, and that's it.
Unless something crazy happens.
Right.
Well, like new characters and stuff that I really like.
I mean, we covered most of it like when we first started playing
Over
in like
the weeks,
February
yeah.
or whatever. So
We went over an hour.
Did we do over an hour?
yeah, it was an hour and 4 minutes.
God, I'm so sorry.
When
Poor Jake pulling his hair out.
When I did the primer thing with Will earlier, I was like, 40 minutes, that should be good. But I
knew
needed to
it
play
was
the
gonna
video
go
twice.
I knew it was going to go long. It's embarrassing.
I'm ready for bed.
Shall we get right into Nibble
It's
Bits?
fucking 10 o'clock.
Already?
9:54. Yeah, but I don't have anything to talk about other than The Witcher a little bit.
Wow, we have a lot of nibble bits.
Yeah,
but-
actually,
Some of them are pretty noteworthy.
Dan, let me look at mine really quick.
okay. I don't think we had a ton of feedback either.
Well,
did we?
I don't know.
By the way, the reason why I tweeted that is because I thought it was kind of important to bring up the Hearthstone thing, but I didn't know if anybody else was going to tweet it.
That's all right.
That's
It had just come up.
Yeah. I can't believe I was 40 seconds behind you on that.
That audio thing is really annoying too, by the way.
It's an animated hero.
It's driving me crazy.
Feckin' dumb.
Ugh.
Fetching dumb.
Can you imagine when Overwatch comes out?
Dudes,
Careful.
so you know how I told you I wasn't going to be able to watch the conferences this year?
Yeah.
Didn't take it off? Damned if I didn't get Sunday and Monday off.
Really? Nice.
How fucking sweet is that?
That's awesome.
So you are going to be able to watch.
Yep.
That's a good deal, dude.
Every one of them.
I need somebody to tell me everything that happens during the Bethesda one.
You know I'll be. I'm gonna live tweet. Live tweet.
Yes.
Is Bethesda Monday or something?
Sunday,
Do you know what time?
7 p.m. I think.
Oh
East.
my god, I can watch it. It
Yep.
don't work.
I think it's 7.
Uh,
Dan, I'm ready, buddy.
Yeah,
I'll be watching all that as much as I can anyway. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 202 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. We just got done covering Heroes of the Storm. We were talking about during the break. Probably the last time we'll talk for at length about it, I should say.
Yeah. To
It'll-
spare everyone.
It'll probably come up again at some point.
Sorry,
but,
everybody.
whatever. Will, you want to get started with Nibblebits?
Sure. This is one that I tweeted last week, but I wasn't on. Halo ODST campaign is out for the people who actually still have the Master Chief Collection. Halo ODST is one that I thought was underrated. I really liked it. It was cool to play as the ODST, and like how the campaign was set up was always pretty cool, and like going through memories and stuff like that.
I have my code if anybody needs it.
Yeah, just let Eric know because Eric doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah,
right?
you have to have the disc, the Master Chief Collection, to play it. So if anybody wants my code, I have it.
Mm-hmm. Free Halo ODST.
Nice.
It is only $5 to buy though.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's not bad at all. They must not have put a lot of effort into it.
Will,
Well, I think it's a goodwill from them.
Yeah.
Did it come out okay? Like, was there any issues?
I haven't heard anything, so that's probably a good sign.
That is a good sign.
Yeah, I'm sure they would have covered it if it was bad when
Yeah.
it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Will, when did you tweet that? Because I tweeted it this week.
Last week.
Oh, yeah, you did. Okay.
Beat him to the punch.
I beat you by a whole week.
More than a week. You tweeted it on the 26th?
Sounds alright. Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was before last week's episode. That's probably why I didn't see it.
Oh, wait, well, it wasn't here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay.
Moving on. This later got confirmed, but the mobile US version of the PlayStation Store put out a promotional image of the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. And the Neil Druckerman, who is the creative director of the series, tweeted, "Well, that hit a few hours too early. See you in the AM. Good night, y'all." So this later got confirmed to be coming out October 9th. It's all the Uncharted games in 1080p, 60 frames.
Nice.
I have not played the Uncharted series, so I'm kind of looking forward to getting it now. I'm playing
Me
it,
too.
so I hope I like it.
You know, I saw a couple things today that people posted about two things that made me a little angry. That Sony copied Microsoft because of the Master Chief Collection. Now they're putting out the Nathan Drake Collection.
I don't buy that. I
My
think it's
response to that is,
bullshit.
who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. What did you want them to call it?
It only makes sense. There's a lot of people that are not first-time PlayStation owners.
Which was my second argument.
Okay.
I was an Xbox gamer previously. Yeah. I did have a PS3, but I got it late.
Yeah.
You know, and I played a little of Uncharted 1, but then the new stuff came out, so whatever.
Yeah.
But now I can play all of them, and they're updated and all that stuff, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, there's no reason for them not to do something like that.
And that was the other thing. They were complaining about all the remasters. And I said, I understand your point, usually, but not with Uncharted.
Right.
A, because of my argument with me being an Xbox gamer previously. B, because they're working on the next fucking Uncharted and it's almost done.
Yeah.
What are we complaining about? Like,
yeah.
They're putting a new one out soon.
If you don't like it, just don't buy it.
Yes. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. What's with gamers?
That's what I said. It's exactly what I said. That everybody's got a bitch.
Well, this is a good transition to my next one. The Fallout 4 trailer came out. And people complained about the graphics of the game. Like, okay, God forbid they put actual gameplay into the thing, so when it comes out later, everybody's like, what the heck? It doesn't look that good in the trailer. Like, shut up. It's Fallout 4. Like, everybody just be excited.
Yeah.
They could release that game in 8-bit graphics, and I'd still be excited for it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, when I watched the trailer, I watched it like 4 times. I bought the GOG version, or not the GOG version, the Green Man Gaming, that was like $47. Then I pre-ordered it for PS4. I'm going to own it for both.
Wow.
I'm really, 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 really excited for this game.
Probably coming out in the fall.
God, hope it's better than the last one, huh?
And people found, like, the rumors are that the release date's either late October or November.
I read November.
That's what
I just don't want it to be buggy. That's it. As long as New Vegas is still.
Good luck with that, Dan.
Well,
this is one of those series that
Skyrim wasn't that buggy though.
You just don't get.
No. It's not that. I like to
pick on us about
just throw in a comment.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I'm gonna buy it.
Right.
The trailer looks fucking awesome.
I hope you like it.
I hope I like it too. Well, I said hopefully it'll be like The Witcher.
Yeah.
I didn't like The Witcher 2.
Oh boy. Oh, did he lose the... Uh-oh. Many a time, Dan's laptop has crashed and we've lost a segment, but Twitch... We can pull the audio from the Twitch stream, which is nice little backup. Yeah, I'm really excited for Fallout 4. I was reading all the what we know so fars and all the analysis of the trailer. It's good stuff.
Corey.
There he is. He's back.
Corey?
Hi guys.
Corey, do you have anything to add about Fallout 4?
I don't know what you guys talked about, so
Let's give your thoughts.
we
Yeah.
can just move on. Oh, I'm excited for it. I don't like I was saying. I don't really care about the graphics. It's Fallout 4. Who cares?
Right.
Do you think it's going to come out this year?
I think it will.
Okay.
I think that's going to be the big E3 reveal. They have a whole press conference. I mean,
They're going to show off Brink 2.
what else are they going to talk about?
Yeah, no.
It's a good
How
point.
cool would it be if they spent a ton of time on Fallout 4 and then, like at the end, there's a little teaser for like Elder Scrolls 6.
That would be crazy.
No, fuck that.
That would be awesome.
Because it would be years.
Yeah.
I'm
but
sick of
still.
that shit.
Then they would
That's
be
fine.
they would be Ubisoft. No, they'll spend all that time on it and say it's due out in the fall of 2017.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 2017.
I would be disappointed then.
Mm.
That's the only way I
Me
would be
too.
disappointed.
Oh, I'll be
But-
pissed if they do that. I don't think they'll do that.
No, I think
either.
it's coming out this year.
The year that I was saying before we got you back, the year that Fallout 3 came out, they announced it and then said it was coming out in October or whatever. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another tweet or nibble bit that we're going to cover. I want to make a point that I talked to you guys about, but I'll make it. Remember, I'm going to make my point after
Alright.
the
The game.
XCOM tweet.
Yep.
So
Teaser.
I should play the...
go ahead, Will.
That's it, all I had.
Okay, Eric, what do you got?
Well, since you mentioned it, Dan,
Okay.
XCOM 2 has been announced
Yeah.
for later this year, October.
Yeah. Fall. I think.
Fall game. Starting to load up that fall all of a
Yeah.
sudden, isn't it?
And the point I wanted to make was Fallout 4. The it's been talked about for years now, but it's more like everyone knew it was going to come out at some point. But like to have it be made official that it's probably coming out this year. And XCOM, no one knew anything about XCOM 2 at all. I figured they would be making another one, but that's definitely coming out this fall. Like that's good. Like I think 6 months is the perfect window for people to get excited about a game
Yeah.
and to have it come out, while you're still excited about it. I
Absolutely.
like that. I don't like the Ubisoft show something 2 years in advance
The Division.
and have it come out and be delayed.
Right.
Like, Watch Dogs was probably over 2 years before it came out, maybe 2 years exactly. Yeah, you're right. The Division is another one. So
Yeah, so XCOM 2 is going to follow up XCOM Enemy Unknown, which we're all big fans of.
yeah, it was
here.
awesome.
Turn-based strategy. Really looking forward to that one. That's a definite buy.
Yeah, they talked about it, and it's going to be Earth has been taken over by aliens, and you lead like resistance fighters.
And
That's
it's
cool.
PC exclusive.
PC exclusive. I can imagine. Maybe it'll probably come to consoles at some point. It works so well on consoles with the other one. Although maybe if they said PC exclusive, it is PC exclusive.
It may be timed.
Well, they were saying that making it PC exclusive opens up a lot more in terms of development opportunities because they don't have to worry about how it controls with controllers. But I think you're right, Dan. I think if it comes out and sells like gangbusters, they'll have a port.
Yeah,
A console
or
port.
eventually.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's really exciting news there.
Yeah, XCOM was great.
Let's see what else I got here. Steam is now offering refunds for your games. Starting as of a couple days ago,
Yeah,
you will be able to get a full refund on any game for any reason,
Yeah.
as long as it's been less than 14 days since purchase and you have played less than 2 hours,
yep. So if it doesn't run well on your computer
or you hate it.
or you hate it, you can get a refund.
That's not bad.
No.
I like that policy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good policy. I don't like that, if it doesn't run. Well, I guess if you're one of those people that tries to run like a brand new game on a really shitty old computer
Then it's
and it
your
doesn't
fault.
run, then it should be your fault. But really, it's hard to determine that, I think.
You have to take responsibility.
You got to take a
For
little
yourself
bit of
at some point.
responsibility. Yeah, exactly.
So
You'd be surprised the amount of because if I have a game that doesn't work very well, like I'll go on a forum like tinkering with The Witcher, and you'll get some guy that's trying to run it in 800 by 600 resolution on like a 10-year-old computer, just trying everything he can to get it to run on that. I'm like,
I remember being that guy.
you trying to get stuff to run on your laptop?
Yeah.
but you were self-aware about it.
Yeah.
Most people probably aren't.
Oh, I went into the system files for the Old Republic to change stuff and lower it to run on my laptop.
Sure.
Before I got a desktop.
Yeah, we all had crappy computers
Yeah.
at that time to try to play that game.
I was running it on my laptop.
It probably ran at like 10 frames per second on my laptop.
How did we do it?
I don't know. There's no way I could play it now.
Desperation.
We wanted to play the Old Republic.
Desperation is right.
That's absolutely right.
Need.
Okay.
Moving on. PlanetSide 2 finally has a release date on PS4.
Sweet.
June 23rd. I've lost all interest in playing this game.
Yeah. It's too bad.
Yeah, it is too bad because it had a lot of potential.
I think there'll be some people that play it, but if it had come out early, I think it would have had a lot larger of a player base.
Yeah.
I would have played it.
Absolutely. It's open world, like constant environment, taking over bases and controlling it with your team.
It's an MMO FPS.
Yeah.
A very well done one, too.
Yeah, I loved the first one when I played it.
Yep.
So I think it's free to play, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
So I'm going to at least give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
And my last one, Hearthstone is adding new heroes to the game for $10 a piece. But it's not exactly getting a new hero. It's kind of just like a makeover or skin. So $10 gets you an animated hero, a new card back, new emotes, and new play area themes. So it's
Cool.
just more of a cosmetic thing than anything else. Corey, you excited about any of that at all?
Nah, I don't care about that stuff.
All right. First one to be released is Magna Bronzebeard for the warrior class.
That means nothing to me.
I'm guessing skins did well in Heroes for them to do this.
Oh yeah.
Schmucks like me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Problem.
We're definitely part of the problem.
Yeah, but it means less in Hearthstone, I think, than it would in Heroes.
Yeah,
It's
I agree with
status. That's all it is. It's I'm so into this game. It's like buying a nice car.
Listen to him.
Listen, you putting
You're
us
being
down, Corey.
dismissive, yeah.
Nice
Huh?
cars aren't necessarily status
What if I
symbols.
just like to look at it when I'm playing, though?
I mean, yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you have the clink, the reason you do it is little change of scenery and to say like I don't know, it's sort of showy.
I don't have the cash for it, but I do it.
Yeah. See, I don't, so I will not spend the $10 to
No, I-
have a
I
different
should-
skin.
But I'll be damned if I don't see that sale and just buy it.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to somebody else.
Yeah. I'll go next. There were rumors floating around last week, broken by Japanese business magazine Nikkei, that Nintendo's new console would use Android as the basis for the console's operating system, similar to the way the Ouya used it. Nintendo has since debunked the rumor. However, it would not be the first time. Nikkei was debunked by Nintendo, only to have ended up being correct in the first place. So, a lot of people had speculated that was a way of opening up the new Nintendo NX to more types of development, from easier development for a third party titles. So, like I said, they said no, but who knows what that's going to end up being. We'll see.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, I
Dan?
was gonna say.
What?
How do you feel about that?
I don't care. Whatever. That's just going to be their operating system. Like the Xbox is a modified version of Windows.
Yeah,
It's
it doesn't
like-
mean much really at this point.
It's not going to mean anything other than maybe easier third party development. Like if you can develop games and apps for Android, you should be able to develop games for Nintendo now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to make a difference on like Mario and Zelda and all that stuff.
Yeah, people see Android and they think, oh boy, it's just going to be
Yeah.
a cell phone game. It's going to be an Ouya.
Right.
But that's not what that means.
Right.
That's what I thought.
That's why I need you guys to clear things up.
Yeah. No, it should just mean easier third party title development for it.
Okay.
So, Windows 10 coming July 29th, and you can reserve your free copy now by clicking the little Windows icon in the bottom right corner of the taskbar. I did on both mine and my wife's computer, which are Windows 8 computers. I didn't know if it was available on Windows 7, but it is. So if you want to reserve your copy of Windows 10 now.
Where do I go to do that?
Well, I guess you can't
Your
see it.
taskbar.
Yeah, hang on. I'll show you on the laptop. See this little thing right here?
We can do it after. It's no big
You just
deal.
click on that.
Oh.
Get Windows 10, and you reserve your copy that way.
I wonder.
Do
what
I have
was.
that?
Dan,
You
I,
should.
I want you to release a tutorial video of what you
On how
just
to do that?
explained to Will.
I can do that. How to reserve your copy of Windows 10 now. That's a great idea.
But screw it up really bad.
Okay.
I think I can't. Oh, is it this one? I can't find it.
That's a great idea.
I forgot which button it was.
If I think of it, I'll try and do that.
I can't remember if it's right or left click.
Or touch screen. I guess you wouldn't be able to see me
I don't
trying to
see
touch
any
my monitor.
damn things here for me to upgrade.
It'll probably pop up at some point.
That's because you're on Windows 3.1, Eric.
Got
7.
Windows 7 up in this puppy.
Next on the Nibble Bits, Squeenix will be bringing Final Fantasy Typo HD to Steam at some point. One of the console titles that I jealously coveted, actually. But it also is giving people some optimism that Final Fantasy 15 will also come to PC via Steam. Square Enix has said that it will be an enhanced port, giving the user control over graphics options as well as making improvements to the camera and battle system. So the thing that got people excited about this announcement was that it seems more likely that Final Fantasy 15 will also be ported to PC. So
I'm excited for Final Fantasy 15.
me
too.
too. I'm excited for Final Fantasy Type O. It's a game I really wanted to own.
I almost bought it, mostly because I had the demo for Final Fantasy 15
Right.
with it, but just never materialized.
It's another long RPG that
Yeah.
you probably you'll play a little bit of, and maybe you like it and not, but probably
Yeah.
not.
Don't
Finish
need
it, right?
Don't need it.
Right. And you got Bloodborne and The Witcher, and
Heroes.
you'll have Batman in a couple weeks.
Splatoon. I
Yeah.
got plenty going on.
Yep. To carry you through the summer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you put the
And-
word Final Fantasy in front of anything, and people follow it like crazy.
Perk right up.
That's right. And then my last Nibble Bit. In Crusader Kings 2 news, the next expansion coming out called Horse Lords will focus on the Mongol hordes, not only making them playable, but also adding gameplay elements suited to ruling a nomadic, conquer-happy empire. First being nomadic rule. Distinct from the tribal governments already in the game, nomads need lots of space and resist the trappings of settlement. Clan politics. Rule a clan within a nomadic tribe, split clans that get too large, fight for dominance, and proclaim feuds and blood oaths. Muster hordes. Raise vast armies of horsemen and archers, mobilizing your entire population to ride forth and conquer. Silk Road is going to be added. A large, rich trade network that can bring great wealth to whomever controls the cities along the route, but it's especially ripe for pillaging. Larger map. They're adding the Central Asian plains. And adding territories into the Central Asian plains. Tributaries, new diplomatic relationship for nomad states, forces defeated enemies to keep the Khan's coffers filled. And then forts, you can build temporary fortifications to hold a province under your sway for just long enough for you to finish the war. So that's really exciting to me.
Is it going to bring you back in, Dan?
It's going to bring me back into the rabbit hole of Crusader Kings 2, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've always been kind of fascinated with the Mongols and their invasions of everywhere. So,
Well, we all are descended from the Great Khan.
well, Dan Carlin did Wrath of the Khans, 5-part series on Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, and he said that there's more people that are direct descendants of Genghis Khan than like probably any other historical figure ever.
What a dude.
Yeah. Direct descendants.
What a dude.
And that was in the 1200s, the late 1200s.
He's just storming around, spreading his seed.
Or was it late 1100s? I think it was late 12th century. Late 12th century. So that's it for my Nibble Bits. Corey, what do you got?
I'll get through these quick. So Nintendo had a micro Nintendo Direct on Monday. I didn't watch it. Did any of you guys watch it?
No,
No.
I didn't realize it was going on.
I believe the biggest announcement from that was that Bravely's second End Layer is coming west in 2016, which is pretty quick turnaround.
About a year.
The last one come out last year, right?
it came out in Japan this year, like in the spring.
No, but
A lot-
the first one came out here last year.
Yeah, but I mean, it had been out in Japan for a couple of years, I think.
Yeah.
I believe.
You're on board, right, Dan?
Oh yeah.
Who else
Although-
liked it?
Me,
Are you on board?
of course.
Yeah. I'll wait and see. Or just borrow it from you guys.
Yeah. that
There
works.
you go.
There, now we're thinking. Now we're thinking with our wallet. Speaking of that, GameStop now owns ThinkGeek. Apparently, Hot Topic had a $122 million deal set with ThinkGeek to buy them, but that apparently fell through. And the quote from the press release I read was that GameStop wanted to leverage GeekNet, which is ThinkGeek's parent company. That's a tongue twister. Product development expertise to broaden our product offering in the fast-growing collectibles category. Wow. I had a hard time spitting that out. Sort of makes sense to me. I think this is a really good move because, with digital sales of games and stuff, there's not too many reasons to walk into a GameStop store anymore. I know people still do, but if you just have these cool kind of nerdy, geeky collectibles that are based on video games, I think it's a good way to get people in the store and pitch them all your sales and stuff like that. So
People love that stuff.
yeah, and I think ThinkGeek stuff is pretty cool for the most part.
I'd have more of that stuff if I had any money.
Yeah, exactly. It's all novelty stuff,
Yeah.
If you've got the money, there's some cool stuff to get and play around with.
Yeah.
So the Verge article I read pointed out how this would be a good complement to GameStop's plan to sell retro consoles and games. So not only are you getting all that old gaming stuff, but there's fun, cool novelty items to go along with it. So
Yeah.
GameStop is diversifying.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep. So a Mega Man animated TV series is apparently in the works. This is according to a Deadline Hollywood report. It's created by Man of Action Entertainment, which I've never seen any of these, but they did Marvel's Avengers Assemble, Ultimate Spider-Man, and Ben 10. Any of you guys seen any of those shows?
Ben 10 is
I've
sick.
seen Ultimate Spider-Man. My son actually loves Spider-Man. He's been watching the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Is it
cartoon.
good?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay. So
It's the process of like introducing all the heroes, like all the different characters.
I like
The-
that.
Or where we are now in the show.
Is it on Netflix or are you watching on TV?
Netflix, yeah.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it so I can speak his language.
Yeah. He loves Spider-Man.
Yeah. So there's 26 episodes. They're targeting a 2017 release, which happens to coincide with, get this, Mega Man's 30th anniversary.
Holy crap.
Does that make you feel old or what?
Yeah.
I'm older than him.
You. Not by much though.
Dang.
I will be turning 30 in 2017.
You old man.
Yeah. Oh man.
That makes me feel old.
I got to get out of the podcasting game. I got to start my career.
You're telling me.
But I like this. I'm pretty much supportive of any kind of media that expands on a video game universe. So I'll probably check it out, whether it sucks or not. I was a big fan. I know this isn't a video game, but I was a big fan of the Thundercats cartoon, the reboot that they tried to do a couple years ago. Probably 5 years ago at this point. But
No, I think it was after we started the podcast.
or around the same time. I think I remember talking about it in some of the first episodes we did.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
So YouTube is planning an entire slate of E3 content. They're going to have their own E3 hub on YouTube and a booth at the show. So Sunday the 14th, they're going to show the Nintendo World Championships, which I'm going to tune in. You
Yeah.
guys going to tune into that?
Are they Smash Brothers?
I'm not sure if Smash Brothers is part of it. I know, what did I see? Some of
Mario
the older
Kart?
games. The older games. I think Mario... I can't remember now.
Strikers.
Super Mario World, I think, is in there. I don't know.
Like speed runs?
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
When is that, Corey?
Sunday the 14th.
At what time?
I'm not sure, but I'm assuming it's before the Bethesda press conference because YouTube
I would
will
hope
also
so.
do that. So, I mean, I know like IGN and GameStop will stream the press conferences through YouTube and they'll obviously put it up on YouTube. But this is like YouTube doing its own separate thing, which is important. So Monday the 15th, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific, they will start their 12-hour coverage of press conferences, Let's Plays, celebrity interviews, and this will all be hosted by Jeff Keighley, formerly of Spike TV, and I think he's still at Game Trailers. Everybody knows. Yeah, everybody knows Jeff Keighley. He's a good host.
Yeah.
Of that kind of stuff. So that's their 12-hour coverage on Monday, and then throughout the week they're going to have apparently hundreds of hours of live content from their booth at the show. I think this is also a good move because as YouTube sort of vies for the streaming market share and competing with Twitch and stuff, this is a good way to sort of bring people into their ecosystem. Which I sort of missed this until I heard it just this couple weeks ago, but I just heard it recently that for their streaming they're going to have 60 frames per second live streaming.
Whoa.
Doesn't Twitch do that too?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Okay.
So that's big.
Yeah.
Unless Twitch already does it. I really don't think Twitch does. I could be wrong.
I wish our internet connection would handle 60 frames per second streaming.
That's the thing. I think that'd be really hard.
we have to stream at 720p 30 frames per second in order to have a decent quality stream.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, our 5 megabytes is our upload speed, so that's about all we can do.
We're America.
You guys have 1. Me and Corey have 5.
We're America, and
we're not communist China.
No.
No, we're not.
WildStar is going free to play in the fall. This is news to no one. It'll be a little over a year after its release, which was June of 2014. And I was reading some of the press releases, and Carbine Studios said that they won't place any restrictions on the game's content. Quote, every zone, every dungeon, every raid, every battleground, they're all available. All players will be able to create characters of every race, class, and path while choosing any trade skills they like. Characters can achieve level 50 and path level 30 just as they can under the current system. They will still have an optional subscription, which gives priority for server queues, higher caps in the auction house. I assume your ability to sell things at certain prices. Faster progression, experience bonuses is sort of what I garnered from that. And creation of an invitation into guilds. So which kind of, I don't know, that's kind of weird to be a free-to-play person and not be able to invite people to a guild. I guess it doesn't really matter that much, but
yeah,
I don't know. And they'll also have, a la Guild Wars 2, a cash shop for cosmetic and convenience items.
Keep saying that's the way to go.
It really is.
Guild Wars had it right years ago, 2 years ago, whenever it came out.
Yep, they did.
Nailed it. Okay.
And that's all.
Corey?
That's it.
All right. How's your week, Corey?
Good. I wanted to share the fact that we had a record month of downloads for May of 2015. So
by quite a bit.
Quite a bit, yeah. We shattered the previous number.
Yeah.
And we're also moving up in the Stitcher rank a little bit.
Oh, good.
I think we're like rank 3,500.
Yeah.
Hey, almost cracked that top 3,500 mark.
Nice.
Well, we've been floating around 5,000 for 2 years now, so to get up to 3,500 is
good.
Pretty good.
1,500 other podcasts.
Can't go wrong with that.
Eric, stop bashing us.
I'm not.
You're making fun.
Sincere.
You're making fun of us.
I thought that was a pretty good milestone, though, considering last month we didn't really have, there wasn't any big releases. I mean, we had one episode about The Witcher.
Yeah.
Or were both of them? I don't remember.
That was the last one. We're still getting downloads for the Witcher episode. So.
Oh, that's one we still will be getting for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, not middle of the summer. Well, spring. No, it was summer. No, it's not summer yet. Late spring. Not a lot coming out. Good month for us.
Yeah, definitely. And we're off to a good start this month so far, too.
So far, so good. My girlfriend's birthday was Saturday. So pretty much Saturday, Sunday, I did a lot of drinking with her and her friends here and there. And Monday rolled around, and I was pretty exhausted to get up and go to work, but I got sent home for a rain day.
Nice.
I woke up, and I was like, I just want to sleep forever.
Good timing.
Forced myself up, went into work. I was there 30 minutes and got sent home.
I love those days.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And you know when you say before you get up, like, I just want to go back to sleep, but then when you get home, you're like wide awake and want to do things, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works.
It's time you wouldn't have otherwise.
I think it's called mild depression.
Yeah, maybe.
But that was pretty much my week. I watched a pretty good documentary on Netflix called Hot Girls Wanted. It's about the amateur porn industry.
I saw that on there. It looked interesting.
It's really interesting. It's basically catalogs a group of girls who work for this one website over the span of, like, I think it's 6 months, and how optimistic they are when they first go in, and how sort of beaten down they are by the end of those months, and very few of them don't last more than a month.
Is this like one of those cam websites?
It's a little bit of that. It's more just like, it's more like rising, like porn stars before they become porn stars, and like what they have to do to get to the point where, you know, they can choose what they want to do.
Sounds interesting.
It is really interesting. It's a little disturbing.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why it's interesting.
But there's one girl on there who really nails it, and she's like, you know, it's degrading, but like nobody's forcing us to be here. But I think it is important for like people that are interested in that lifestyle to watch the documentary, and
so you have an idea of what to expect,
what you're getting into before you do it.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Now, say I wanted to be like a cam guy.
I was just gonna say something like
Dan,
that.
I think you're in.
I don't know.
I've been kicking around the idea for a while. Shirtlessgamer, GAYMER.com.
It's fucking brilliant.
I don't know that anyone wants to see me with my shirt off, though.
You'd
Somebody
be surprised.
Somebody does.
That's a good point, Eric. Good point. Fair enough.
Dan, 2 girls, 1 cup happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
You never know what's going to get popular on
There
the
you
internet. Okay. What about you, Will? What do you got?
I missed last week. I was pretty fatigued last week. I was tired. I did a lot of loads and waking up early and stuff like that. So I just wanted a day where I, went to bed early, and I watched the stream for like 20 minutes or whatever, and then I pretty much went to bed. It was like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, a couple things I wanted to touch on. I didn't know Hearthstone, you did an arena run, you'd get the goblins and gnomes cards. What the heck?
Oh, you listened.
Yeah, I always go back and listen.
I was going to talk to you about that later on in this episode, but yeah. I didn't realize either that all I was getting was goblins versus gnomes packs.
Yeah, because I was getting the same cards, and I was like, well, this sucks.
Well, you know what the kicker was for me was I won a pack in the arena and got all cards I already had. And I'm like,
yeah,
there's so many cards I don't have. How am I just getting all cards I already have? And then I realized I was just getting goblins versus gnomes card packs. So I just stopped doing arena runs and started spending 100 coins on card packs, and I've been getting all brand new cards. I actually got an Archmage Antonidas, which is a really good card for the mage.
I've been doing the same thing, and I've gotten some pretty awesome cards, too.
Yeah. I think my problem was, like, I played in beta, and then I played a little bit when the game first came out, and then I picked it up again right around the time of Goblins vs. Gnomes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, all the card packs I was winning were Goblins vs. Gnomes, and I had none of these other cards, other than the ones I got through the adventures.
Well, do you know what the reasoning behind them making it so Goblins and Gnomes is the only cards you get? Like, why?
I don't know. I tried to do a little poking around in the forums to see what people were saying about it, and some of the people were saying that that's at the time when that Goblins vs. Gnomes came out, all the people who had been playing already had all the older cards, so that's what they preferred. And that's what they got. They just haven't changed it. There's a lot of good posts about the reward system in Hearthstone being broken now, and I definitely agree with that. But that's neither here nor there. That's a conversation for another day.
We should do this conversation sometime.
Yeah.
I need to play more, though, because I haven't been playing a ton since I don't have an iPad anymore.
Yep. I hear you.
Another thing is I never did the Citadel DLC.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I stopped playing shortly. I forgot. What was the Leviathan maybe that came out first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Leviathan DLC was the first one, and I played that, but I never ended up playing the Citadel DLC. When I go back to play Mass Effect, hopefully when they re-release it on consoles, I will play through it then.
Will, you're supposed to be our authority on Mass Effect.
I know, it's the one DLC I never played either.
I've got 1 and 2 on Steam that you can play, but the third is on Origin.
I own all 3 of them.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I think I own 2 and 3 on Origin and 1 and 2 on Steam. So
Okay.
like I have overlap, but I don't have all the DLC for Mass Effect 3.
I don't know if I do or not. I just bought it one day on a sale.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Amazon had the Mass Effect trilogy this week for $9.
Yeah, that's
Really?
that's a good deal. If you haven't played it yet and you have a PC that
Yep.
you probably can play at this point. It's been out for a few years. You should get it. That's cheap.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
So the day that Fallout 4 got announced, I pretty much bought the $46 Green Man Gaming one. I was in a buying mood, so I just kind of bought World of Warcraft and the expansions.
Really?
It's like
Ugh.
$50.
You can play
really?
You can play it for free. Up to level 20.
I needed the expansions, Dan.
Did you? You don't even have a character that high, do you?
No, not yet.
Are you
You're
gonna play
never
it?
gonna have a character
Yeah, I'm gonna
that
play it.
high.
You should play Guild Wars instead if you're gonna play an MMORPG.
Nobody want to play World of Warcraft with me.
Do you?
Yeah, and I don't have anybody who was going to play Guild Wars.
I'll
and-
fucking play Guild
I'll
Wars.
play Guild Wars.
If you
Where
had
are
said
you guys
play Guild
for-
Wars with me or I'm going to buy World of Warcraft, I would have installed it that second.
You never text me to play anything. So don't say where are you when I want to
First-
play. I don't know.
first-
Send me a fucking text message
First
and
of
I'll
all,
tell you.
when's the last time any of you have turned on Guild Wars?
I fire it up
Okay.
once a week.
I'm never gonna play it by myself. Never.
Okay, I'm going to play WoW and Guild Wars if that's okay with everybody.
No.
No, we're all pretty upset.
What's with the hate on World of Warcraft?
It was
Just a
I
waste
didn't
of
like-
money and time.
That's fine. I have people who are going to play with me more.
No, I'm waiting for
How-
the Guild Wars 2 once they announce the expansion. I'm gonna start playing a lot like a month beforehand
Yeah,
to get
well-
back into it.
That's probably when I'll play too. But how many times have we said, "Oh, well, I'll play this with you," and how many times has it happened?
I'll gladly play as long as it's after like 10:30.
I mean, Corey,
Like
I'm
10
always
o'clock at
like,
night.
"Hey, why don't you play this with me?" And you're like, "Oh, I have to work or whatever."
What? I don't think I've ever said that.
We were supposed to have done Divinity like months ago.
Nah,
We're
you
waiting
and
for
I
the enhanced
played it.
edition.
yeah, you guys are gonna get that on PS4.
I'm not gonna get it on PS4. I own it on PC already. I'm not gonna buy it again.
My
Why
time
not?
to play
I'll
video
all
games
those
is
games on
limited.
multiples.
I don't like Divinity enough to buy it twice.
I'm just fucking with you.
We're teasing you, Will. Fun in your bunions.
We don't ever play anything together.
I will play anything with anybody as long as it's after 10:30.
I have a list of games in my thing that says mine and Corey's games to play through, and we haven't even touched it.
I don't know where you think I'm getting all this time to play a game. It's not like I'm just like kicking around time and being like,
Yeah, I
"Yeah,
don't-
screw Will."
I don't have the time to play games all the time either, but like I would like to play something. So my friends are like, they wanted to play WoW. I have 4 people who want to play, and I was like, all right, I'll do it.
I have about 4 hours on Wednesday and about 4 hours on Friday are my game time. And that lines up with your schedule so rarely. And a lot of times it's like, I really need to play this game so I can talk about it on the podcast kind of thing.
Okay, so then none of you can say anything about Guild Wars.
How
then.
dare you? I'm free every night after 10:30.
See, but sometimes I work
Say
at
whatever the fuck I want.
I work
about
at
Guild
6
Wars.
or 7, so I have to go to bed.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So
All I need is a text message, and if
All
I
of
can't play,
you.
I'll say no, I can't play. If I can, I'll say yeah, let's fucking play it.
well, if we play anything together, we're gonna play
Well,
Heroes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, but we'll play Heroes instead.
So
That happens.
Wait, when's the Path of Exile expansion?
this month.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Oh yeah, we will.
Let's all play. Let's all install PoE.
Also, don't act like we've never played games together.
3 Big Queens. We
Yeah,
we were on a hot streak there for a few weeks.
Yeah.
In fact, we played Heroes of the Storm today, and you know how that worked? I texted and said, "Hey, does anybody want to play Heroes of the Storm?"
And I was devastated that I was at work.
That's how that works.
Today.
I was working on the studio at that point, and I watched, at least. So, okay. What else you got, Will?
Pretty Little Liars came back this week too.
Oh, is that a summer show?
It starts in the summer. They take a like a couple months off, and they come back in the winter.
Where
Gotcha.
have I gone in life where it's 10:40 p.m. and I'm talking about Pretty Little Liars?
Because I wanted to bring it up. This is the first thing I put in my notes for this week, because I was like, I know Eric and Corey are going to give me crap, and whoever in the stream. Started off with a bang, too.
PLL. Okay.
I think I've disappointed everybody enough tonight.
Nah.
Between World of Warcraft and Pretty Little Liars.
I'm sorry I have people who want to play games with me.
I might have to send you
I
home
wanna
early,
play.
Will.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Will's right, though. If we play anything, we're only going to play Heroes. He's right. So I'm out of this conversation.
Yeah.
You want to know about my week, Dan?
I do.
The only thing I really had to Arsenal won the FA Cup for second year in a row. That's
Nice.
a good round of applause for the boys. What else?
Who'd they beat in the finals?
Aston Villa 4-0.
Okay.
Wow.
Just an absolute ass kicking. Just a thumping. A couple of really nice goals too. So,
I gotta say the Arsenal, the red and white is sharp.
they're nice, right?
I don't like the yellow and blue as much.
I don't either.
The red and white is sharp though.
It is, yeah. And I like that the Puma. Puma does a nice job with their kits.
But anyway, that's off the topic.
The only other thing I really want to talk about, I've been watching The Sopranos more. I'm in the third season now. I like the third season the best so far. So keeping that going. I actually gave some thought to quitting watching it, but the third season has kept me in it. And my girlfriend and I decided to start a book club with each other to try and get me to read more.
Okay.
So we're gonna do one book a month. We started with one.
How do you pick your books?
We just kind of do it together.
Okay.
Um,
Because I got some suggestions for you.
yeah, I'd love to have them.
Lord of the Rings. No, I
I've
know.
already read them.
They've got to be stuff she'd be interested in too, right? Are you doing fiction or nonfiction?
We don't really have any boundaries.
Parameters.
Yeah,
1984. Make that.
that was one that was tossed around.
Okay, that's a great book.
Fahrenheit 951 or something.
451.
451.
That's a great book too.
Yeah, there was one about religion that was tossed around a little bit. But the one we actually ended up going with for this month is called Assholes, A Theory by Aaron J. James. He is philosopher. He has a PhD in philosophy, and I think he's a teacher and did some studies at Stanford and stuff. So he has a theory about what is an asshole.
Oh, okay.
It's
Like as a person.
What
Yes.
Oh.
So he's
not,
trying to
not literally an asshole.
No. Like, what makes somebody an asshole? Like, what specifically, like, scientifically makes this person an asshole?
That's kind of neat though.
Yeah, I don't love it so far. I thought I would, but it's the
Is
reading
it humorless?
no. I wouldn't say it's humorless, but the reading is a little more advanced than I was looking for.
Okay.
I wanted it to be a little more humor than actual wordage.
Right.
I don't know. But I'm only in the first chapter, so I'm hoping that it gets a little easier for me as we go, because I am not a reader by
Right.
any means. So I could have used something a little easier to start out with than this guy with a PhD, like, using big words at me. But
I used to read a lot more than
Huh?
I do now.
Reading.
yeah, I don't know. It'll be good. You know, it's just one of those things where it's something for us to talk about with
Yeah.
each other, you know, to have in common. And we like going to Barnes & Noble. Of course, you go to Barnes & Noble, you look at the price, and you're like, well, let me see what it
Amazon.
costs on Amazon.
Yep.
So we bought it on fucking Amazon.
Yeah.
We actually bought another one called what was it called? I think it's called the Omnivore's Dilemma or something like that. She's really into reading, like, diet books and stuff like that. But this guy talks about how over time, as people have become more conscious of health, people have also become fatter.
Yeah.
And how that's such a weird thing, and how there's
Yeah.
like 3 basic things that you need to remember when you're eating, and it's like, eat less.
Yeah. That's my problem too.
But
Not eating too much.
I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm gonna stop. But
Yeah.
the way he puts it, I was like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
But so that's gonna be the one that we read next month. But I'm excited about that. So
Well,
I'll report-
Eric, I
Eric,
hope
you should put Blood Meridian on there
Blood Meridian.
by Cormac McCarthy.
What's that?
It's probably one of the most violent books you'll ever read in your
Yeah.
life. Yeah. It's a Wild West kind of.
Oh, I like Wild West.
Brutal.
Nice.
Really good though. I actually bought a Humble audiobook bundle specifically for that book.
Okay.
Because I had wanted to read it for a while and never got the chance, but it's good stuff.
I own 1984 on my Kindle.
So good. That's a great book too.
Well, I'm sure we'll do that one. Corey, you had something?
I was just gonna say I hope you and Christy fare better than Sophie and I did, because we tried to do the same thing and we didn't even get through one book.
Christy loves to read, so I'm hoping that she can kind of carry me through it.
Well, the thing is, Sophie loves to read, but I don't know. Like, the book we picked, she just would not read, and I'd like read a little bit and ask her about it, and she just wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe she just didn't like the book we picked, and then that was it, or...
Yeah, you really got to make sure you're hitting both of your interests for that one.
Yeah, that's why we went and picked together. I thought about maybe doing like, oh, I'll pick this month, you pick next month, but I don't think that would work.
Right.
Because like if I picked like Lord of the Rings or something, she's completely uninterested.
Right.
But I did want to say, I tossed around the idea today. I was like, well, why don't we do a video game club too? One a month. You have to try one.
Yeah.
I'm reading, which is something I hate.
Right.
Because you want me to read more, and it's something we can talk about together. So why don't you try doing this for me?
It's only fair.
Not happening.
Really?
No.
Not at all.
No. So.
I think you'll break her down at some point.
I don't.
Really?
I'm going to give up before that happens.
Gotcha.
But that's about it for me, Dan. There's a question.
Yeah.
Did you want to do your week?
Yeah.
And then we'll do...
Yeah, real quick. I've only got... I rearranged the studio again. It still needs a little work, but I wanted to put a place to stream Wii U playing down here because I borrowed Will's game capture, and me and my wife are going to stream actually starting Friday nights at about 10 or 10:30 whenever we get my
thump.
Yeah, whenever I punch the table, whenever we get my son to finally go to bed, that's when we'll come down and stream. Probably hour and a half, maybe 2 hours Wii U on Friday nights. I think we're gonna start with Super Mario 3 World that I'm borrowing from Will. I tried to do Skylanders last week, but there was a weird audio issue that I couldn't get resolved. I think I can get it fixed, so we'll probably do that eventually. But yeah, we're going to stream Wii U. And my wife is taking college classes now and has a lot of work. So if for whatever reason 1 week she can't stream games on the Wii U, I'll come down and I'll stream something on the Wii U on Friday nights. And then me personally, I'm going to start streaming Sunday and Monday nights. I think I'm going to start with Star Wars games, but I haven't really decided, but it'll be something that I'm going to stream Sunday and Monday nights from starting, again, at about 10:30, probably go until 12:30, 1 o'clock every night. So,
you know what I got thinking, Dan, since you only play at night? My fiance works overnights sometimes. So I'm thinking, like, when she does that, I'll come over, and that's when we can do our stuff.
We can play something, Yeah, me and Eric want to start, because Eric lives...
a hop, skip, and a jump.
3 minutes away.
Yeah, if that.
We want to do more like in studio, like Let's Plays and stuff like that. So we're gonna figure that. I think we're gonna start tonight, as long as it's not too late, with a little Splatoon.
Ugh.
But we're running late now.
Thing
so
is,
that's a maybe.
I got a new game today, and I haven't played it yet.
Yep.
So that's calling me.
Yep.
I have to work at 7.
Oh yeah.
But I don't really give a fuck.
Right.
IDGAF.
Don't blame you. So. That's all I have for this week. So, did you have a question from the?
Is feedback next?
What we played is next.
Yeah. Well, I just don't want to forget it, so I'm just gonna ask you now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Last week, remember we had talked about over leveling.
Yeah.
So Sick Kid Gaming in the chat says, totally off subject, but I was listening to last week's episode, and I think I remember someone saying something about over leveling in Witcher 3, and it took me back to Dragon Age and the over leveling issue with that. Have you guys ever just raised the difficulty to offset that?
No, but I think I am going to do that in The Witcher 3, because I am starting to get over-leveled by quite a bit. In Dragon Age, I didn't think the combat was as good. I just wanted to burn through everything, because I don't know. I just had an easy time with it, so I was like, I'll just... But The Witcher feels more like it should be a challenge, fighting all the beasts and stuff especially. So I do think I am going to turn up the difficulty on The Witcher, because I am starting to get over-leveled.
Okay.
And having a fairly easy time with things. It never crossed my mind in Dragon Age, but definitely for the
I always
Witcher.
forget that you can change difficulty in games.
Me too.
I don't know, it never crosses my mind.
Yeah, and a lot of the with The Witcher too is the preparation aspect of it. You're putting your oils on your swords and your potions to help you, drinking your potions, decoctions and stuff to help you take down a monster, and like a lot of cases, you don't need that stuff if you're over leveled. So in order to get the full experience of The Witcher, I think you should do that sort of stuff. So, but there's no point if you're blitzing through everything. So I think I'm gonna raise the difficulty on the old Witcher 3. So
I kind of like like to feel. I don't know. Part of that is the whole progression thing. Like sometimes I kind of like to feel like I'm doing something right, and because of that, I'm being rewarded by being able to kill things easier.
Yeah.
So
which I liked in Dragon Age, but I think in The Witcher, like I said, part of the coolness of it is the epic battles that Geralt is supposed to have with some of the monsters that he fights, and if you're just able to dodge a little bit and hit it 3 or 4 times and kill it, it's like, well, that was a little too easy for my liking.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of a problem.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
That's why I'm going to turn up the difficulty. Probably, maybe next time I play. But I'll be talking about that a little bit during when I played, obviously. So.
Same.
We want to just jump right into that?
Yeah, let's.
Since we're on the topic of The Witcher.
Why not?
That's all I played this week. I had about 42 hours played.
Damn.
I actually had a lot of technical difficulties this week with it. Patch 1.04 apparently bricked a lot of the game for my specific graphics card.
Oh,
Will,
wow.
you would be having the same problem because we have the same graphics card.
Oh.
And apparently it was with factory overclocked graphics cards was what was causing the problem. The game would reach 100% of the power that it was using, and it wouldn't know what to do, and that's what was causing the crashes. Apparently, that's what I've read up on. So I would be able to play it for 10 or 15 minutes, and it would crash on me repeatedly. And I wasn't down here playing; I was upstairs playing on my Shield tablet. So I would have to come downstairs and restart my computer and get everything set up again. Go back upstairs, play for 15 minutes, have it crash, have to come back. Pain in the ass.
Oh my god.
So finally I did my research, and I had to actually underclock my graphics card to get The Witcher to run. It wasn't very hard. I just had to download a program to do it. But since I've done that, I've only had one crash in like 10 hours, and I think it was updates that popped up that actually crashed it, and not an issue with the game. So, but it was patch 1.04 that I started having all the graphical problems with.
Did they fix it since?
I don't know if patch 1.05 has come out yet, or if there's been a new driver too, but I don't know. But it was specifically on the GTX 970s that was causing a lot of problems. But
It's a good thing I'm not there yet.
Yeah, you're not there yet. You would have had the same troubles, but I would have been able to guide you to fixes.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have been able to do it alone.
Yeah, but yeah, 42 hours in. I'm
still loving it?
Still absolutely love it. Eric, I wanted you to talk about it. What are your thoughts? Because I know RPGs aren't your jam, really.
Yeah.
So what are your...
I cooled off a little bit, honestly.
Yeah.
How far did you get in the story?
I'm almost done with all the stuff in Novigrad. The stuff where you're tracking down Dandelion.
Yep.
I'm almost done with all that.
I finished all of that.
Okay.
So I'm on to... Skellige to look for Ciri.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the Novigrad story stuff was a lot worse.
Okay.
It's just a lot of go find this person.
Yeah.
He seems to have talked to Dandelion.
Yeah.
Oh, go find this person. He also at some point talked to Dandelion. Mm-hmm. It was just a lot of that over and over, and I was like, well, this isn't nearly as interesting as what I experienced previously.
Yeah, I hear you, and I think one of the things that me being, knowing the characters, I think that helps. Because all the characters were in a lot of those characters were in previous games. So it was cool for me to go and see all those characters again.
Yeah.
So I didn't have an issue with it really.
I don't know. It didn't feel like there was anything going on.
Right.
I was just going to find this guy
trying
because
to track down Dandelion.
Yeah, because maybe he talked to somebody when you pretty much know that he's not. It's not the end of the game.
Right.
So it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't as fun for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Second part of the story, but I mean, it's still a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely still a fun game.
I know you said you didn't like the parts playing as Ciri.
No, I don't know. I don't like doing I don't know if you'd call them flashbacks or whatever, memories, whatever it is. It takes me out of it. I just don't like it at all.
Yeah.
I just would rather play as Geralt and keep that going and have somebody explain to me in like kind of like the way that when you come back to the game, it says previously, this is what's going on. Yeah. I would rather have it done in that form. This is what happened to Ciri here.
Yep.
as opposed to me playing through it because it just takes me out of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, I really like playing as Siri, actually. I really like her dodge, especially.
I like that too.
The teleport. It's very cool.
It's not necessarily the combat that I don't
Right.
like. It's just I just don't like doing it.
Yeah. So what they're doing is when Geralt talks to someone and they're relating the part about Siri that whatever happened in the story, it's you play it instead of them actually explaining to you. So you see what goes on firsthand as opposed to them, like Eric said, giving you a brief overview of Siri's events. So.
I'm guessing she's integral to the main story of the game.
Yeah, so far.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, you're at least early in the game. You're spending tracking down Siri.
Okay.
So far.
So anyway, I finished all the Dandelion stuff, and what I'm gonna do is stay in Novigrad before I keep going and do a lot of side stuff.
Yeah.
Finish up some of my contracts that I'm high enough level to do. I think I'm level 14.
Okay. I think I just hit 17.
Okay.
But I've done a ton of side stuff.
Yeah. You get? I thought you don't get too much experience for that.
Well, a lot of it is doing the exploring too.
Okay.
I've done a lot of exploring. There's only a handful of well, I don't know. I probably have 20 to 25 question marks that I haven't done on the map. Maybe 20.
Yeah.
That I haven't done, but I made a conscious effort to, like, if I see a huge chunk of them, I'll try to go to all those.
Yeah.
And one thing we talked about last week, Corey, I think you specifically mentioned it, if you get quests that aren't question marks off the beaten path in the game.
Yeah.
And you definitely do.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a lot of them, but I did find one that was just a place on the map that I was like, I wonder what's there. So I made the marker, and it did bring up a quest that was not a question mark on the map. So
yeah, I found that too. I was just running by something and somebody was screaming, and then it showed up as a exclamation point on my mini map.
Yeah. Yep. So that's good. So there is more even than just the question marks on the game.
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do
Lots of
now is
stuff.
the Witcher contracts and some of the side quests. Get that squared up before I move on.
Yeah. Yep. Corey,
I'm pretty cool on it,
are you?
honestly.
I thought you would be when I was playing it. I was like, I bet you Corey doesn't like this as much as the last one.
Again, like, I'm gonna do my whole Dragon Age thing. Like, I think it's a really good game, but well, no, I'm gonna back up a little bit. There's one thing that this game does extremely well, and that's storytelling, and everything else is either mediocre or bad. But the good storytelling is really enough to carry you through the game and redeems it throughout. Like, the user interface, I think, is really bad. Navigating menus and stuff, even the crafting and the alchemy and the way you have to go through that and find what you need to create, and it's just not very intuitive and easy to get through. I mean, particularly with a controller. I don't know. I assume it's better with a mouse and keyboard.
Along those lines, Corey, one thing I think they need to put in the game, and I don't know if they can do this as DLC or just add it in a patch, is have like a storage, like a bank spot where you can put in, because I have a couple sets of Witcher armor that you can improve by finding better plans that are taking up a lot of space in my inventory, but also, for weight management. It takes up a significant chunk, and I can't go through and just loot everything because I have to worry about space. So even like if you stop like a bank spot in Novigrad where you can deposit sets of armor, swords, and stuff,
and your trophies too. I think it would be nice to be able to store those
trophies and maybe some of the quest items that you're done using that stay in your inventory and clutter it up. I do think the inventory gets a little bit cluttered.
Definitely. But like the controls, I was just getting so frustrated, getting stuck on trees, maneuvering the horse. Like,
get it.
It's just so frustrating. Even like in combat, the way the camera spins around on you.
I was gonna say because I agree with you on the camera thing, Corey. And one thing, like, they could have done the targeting better. Like, I think if you have someone targeted, the camera should always be centered on that,
like Dark Souls,
with it in front of you. Yeah, exactly like Dark Souls.
Lock on. It's like a quarter lock on or something.
Yeah, because
weird.
It'll lock on and Geralt will follow that thing, but the camera like stays stationary.
Yeah,
and I think if the camera was to follow that, it would make it a lot better.
I honestly don't know. Like, when they were developing it, who thought that was a good idea?
I don't know, because like, especially when I'm fighting something indoors, like the camera doesn't move as well, and like there'll be people behind you like wailing on you, and you can't like turn around easily to Yeah, that is annoying. I agree. I haven't had any trouble with the horse.
I'm shocked.
Me too.
Yeah,
I think you're the one and only.
I mean, I guess maybe I don't use it as much as you guys because I really only use it like out in the roads, and it runs on its own. Other than that, I sprint everywhere.
I don't know. I want to chop its head off every time I get on it.
Fucking roach.
I just run. Like I've given up on the horse. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't use it that much.
Trying to climb things is super frustrating, especially when you're in a transition from water to land.
Yeah.
There was a time where I was going to a question mark, and it happened to be a hidden treasure, but it was underwater. And it was right around an area where there was a sunken ship. So I jumped up on the ship and saw in the middle of the ship there was a ladder going down to water. And I assumed the treasure was in there, so I jumped in there, couldn't get out of there. Stuck. Had to reload a save.
Huh.
I was so frustrated. And there was like an easy place to like stand up and jump, but because, I was deep enough in water that I couldn't jump. I could only dive or surf. I don't know.
It didn't register jump as an option because you're too deep in water.
Yeah, like it was up to my ankles, and that was enough for it to be too deep. And I don't know. And like even with the combat, I don't think the combat is particularly very good. It can feel a little spammy at times, sort of just hammering on depending on what you're fighting. Some of the like Witcher contracts are good because it's a more difficult fight, so you're going to approach it more carefully and be a little more strategic. But even like, did you guys do the Jenny of the Woods fight?
Yeah.
Like that was just rinse and repeat. I don't know. It was frustrating.
I was too overleveled for that one, so it was really easy.
Character progression, not super exciting. Are you guys enjoying that part of it?
It's not great. I would agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's mediocre. And I'm just trying to come up with things like, come up with reasons why this game is so great, and the only thing I can come up with is the storytelling.
I think you're absolutely right. I agree with almost everything you said, Corey. I think the climbing isn't as bad for me as it has been for you.
Yeah, I haven't had any trouble with it.
And the menus, the thing I don't like about the menus is that I'm in them constantly. Mm-hmm. I don't like that I have to be in them a lot, like to look for quests.
And even
my inventory.
Maybe I totally missed it, but do you have to go into your inventory over to your usable items every time you want to use an oil or switch out a potion?
You have 2 slots that you can have potions or food in.
That's not enough.
It's not. You're absolutely right.
You should be able to set those in the little spinny wheel, the left bumper spinny wheel.
Corey, did you try using PC controls? Because I think you might be able to map more with using keyboard and mouse.
I mean, I'm sure I could, but I prefer to play games with a controller. I don't know, like that's just what I prefer. I prefer to sit back in my chair and have my controller in my lap, and
with you.
I shouldn't be punished because that's not good.
Well, there's only so many buttons too.
Sure, yeah, I get it, but like I even feel like Dragon Age did a much better job with that. And user interface, I think the Dragon Age user interface was way better than Witcher. But back to my main point of like the best thing about this game is the storytelling. It's like, yeah, but as someone who played the first 2 games, and that's what I loved about those games, I've seen it already twice, and it's not as awesome for me this time, It's still really good, but I'm not as wowed by it as it seems like most people are.
Yeah.
I guess what I would say is last week I said I was going to have a difficult choice for Game of the Year. I don't feel that way anymore.
No.
Not after that second area.
Yeah.
Really, just after the first part was so good.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, I was just like, I just am going looking for all these different people, and I don't know. I don't feel any connection to any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel like the Geralt in this game is different from I talked a little bit about this last week, but even like the wordplay and the writing in this one, it's good, but it's not as good as it was. Just like the sort of verbal foreplay that Geralt was always having with characters. Like, it's here, but it's not to the extent that it was in the other 2 games.
Yeah.
And that sort of was one of the things I loved about the other ones, and it's not as good in this one. And
do you think that has anything to do with the length?
That sort of brings me to my next point is, though some of those side quests and main quest stories elements are so good that it just sucks me right back into the game, and I love it all over again. But in the other two games, you're sort of constantly doing the main quest. There were little asides, but they always sort of played into the main quest a little bit. And in this one, like, you'll be working on a main quest, and then you could just forget about it for hours and just do a bunch of side stuff. And, you know, the OCD part of me sort of takes over, and I just run to all those question marks. But in doing that, I sort of lose the thrust that the story had for me, and I don't like it's hard to get the momentum back up.
So what you're saying is you didn't want The Witcher 3 to be an open world game. You wanted it to be a more focused experience.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Correct. It's kind of like when they announced how big it was, and I said, "How big is too big?" At what point do you stop making it that fucking big?
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's sort of the issue I had with Dragon Age, is that it was just too bloated. These BioWare too, like, they tell good stories in all that extra stuff, and I'm sure people are screaming at me like, "Oh, you don't need to do that; it's extra," but it's like I keep saying, the OCD part of me sort of takes over, and I feel like I'm missing out, and I kind of just want. I mean, beggars can't be choosers, but I feel like it's too big.
I think in The Witcher 3, though, more than the Dragon Age, like, you probably are missing out on something interesting that's happening. And even some of the dumb side stuff, like, that will come back to bite you. Like, some character that you save, someone that I saved early on, that little quest arc, like, it came back to bite me like a lot later on in the game. In an unexpected way. So I think more so in The Witcher, you are missing out on stuff by not doing all the side stuff. Whereas in Dragon Age, like, a lot of that side stuff was meaningless, completely meaningless.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it isn't necessary to do it, but some of them you are missing out on neat things and the potential for you to see how your actions, carry on over time.
Exactly. I don't know. And that's the thing. I wanted. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, like I'd come across a side quest, and I would want to see it all the way through, because, like, I had a prior relationship with a certain character or something like that, and that's interesting. But it's just so much of it that I don't want to miss out. But at the same time, like, the really good stuff, it's so good, and it's just to go to this other stuff. I don't know. It's just like this constant tug of war between, like, what makes The Witcher so great and this sort of added fluff to make the game 200 hours.
Yeah.
And that's kind of another issue that I have with it. But, and again, like, it's still good. It's still a really good game. It's just, I don't know. I'm kind of pooping on it a little bit right now because everybody likes it so much.
Yeah, this is weird hearing people speak not highly of it.
No, I understand exactly what he's saying. It is a good game. It's a really good game, but it's got flaws. I don't,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
I still love it. I'm not having any of the issues you guys are having at all.
It's still like the best storytelling in games. The Kira Metz stuff. Did you guys do that?
Yeah.
Like, all those side quests I thought were awesome. The crones, the witches in the swamp.
Have you gotten to?
Have you done the
Novigrad yet?
The Bloody Baron quest
No,
line?
I'm still in Velen. I did pretty much everything in Velen except for the last bit.
Okay.
You're way behind, Corey.
Well, I'm like level 12.
I'm interested.
Oh, that's pretty high.
Wow, that is a pretty high level for that. I'm interested to hear, what happened with you at the end of that.
Yeah.
Also interested to hear what you think of the second area in the main quest.
Okay.
I just thought it was way less interesting than the first part.
Yeah, I'm curious to see.
He's not going to like it.
I don't think he is
willing to
either.
guarantee it.
I don't think he is either. Why do you think that?
I don't know. It's just
You have
the way
the
he's talking
feeling-
about it. If he doesn't like it already, I don't think it's going to get better for him.
Whoa. It's
What?
not that I don't like it.
Good game. He does
Right.
like it.
But he's saying it's a good game, but he doesn't really like it.
If I had just listened to the segment, I would say you don't like the game at all.
I mean, I don't know how else I can point out its flaws without sounding like that, but
No, I understand
like
that.
I'll sound like a broken record, but the storytelling stuff in that game is so good that I really like the game.
Yeah.
Like, that's the redeeming quality that keeps me playing, and
I'm wondering if you're going to feel that way after the second part.
maybe I'll quit.
I almost hope so.
That would be what's on it.
See, I think Corey will probably like it better than you, though,
'Cause he knows the
Because he
characters.
knows the characters, right? I think that is important for that part.
I didn't find any of the characters interesting though.
You didn't like Dijkstra?
Which one's Dijkstra?
The
He's
big,
okay.
the big dopey looking guy.
He's all right.
Yeah, because Geralt has a history with him, and that's what makes their interactions interesting for me.
Yeah.
Remembering him from previous games.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was all right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I will say to the game's credit, though, I haven't had a single bug.
I crashed.
No issue.
Yeah, AMD cards. Even though this is what boggles my mind, but it was supposed to be made to run well with NVIDIA cards, and I mean, I had tons of trouble with it this past week.
That's crazy.
You're running an older AMD card, and you've ran it flawlessly. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of the settings are on low, but
right. Still, well, you have an older card. I mean, your card's 4 years old at this point.
2013, whenever the hurricane was. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's 7950, right? I think it's 3 years that you've had
7950, yeah.
So, yeah. That's not the first example of that. Just Cause, remember?
Oh,
that I played for 4 in February that kept crashing on me. That was made to run well with NVIDIA hardware. I hate when they do that. And then something that's made to run well with AMD hardware will crash on AMD cards, but on NVIDIA cards.
Sure.
Computers
I hate
are so
that.
weird.
That drives me nuts.
Fickle.
So, okay. Any other thoughts on The Witcher? Corey? I don't have anything else.
I think I said my piece. I'm going to keep playing it.
Right.
Oh, me too.
For now. Till Fallout 4 comes out. It'll probably take me right up till then.
I was going to say, I hope you have it beat by then, but who knows? Okay. I didn't play anything else. Will, you played Master Chalice?
I played 2 things. I'll do The Witcher first.
Okay, the first Witcher.
I don't know, man.
Doesn't hold up.
The voice acting is really bad.
Yeah. It's a common complaint. Do you have the Enhanced Edition?
Yes.
Okay, because I've heard the Enhanced Edition is even better than the original with voice acting. They had to have everyone come in and redo the voice acting because the original was so terrible.
I can't even imagine how bad it is because I shouldn't care because I played Dynasty Warriors and I love that game. The voice acting is awful in that, but for whatever reason, it just seems
not story driven though.
That's true.
Do you think? Can you turn on like Polish for that and then have subtitles?
I didn't look at that yet.
Yeah, you should try that.
I should try that. Is it better in Witcher 2? Voice acting?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like I can't tab out of the game and then go back into the game like when I go to another monitor to do something because then it's just a black screen and then I lose progress. So like that's sort of an issue with me because I completed the first part in Kira. What is it called? Kira Cut. I don't know. It was
Kaer Morhen.
Kaer Morhen. I was there and I did that opening bit and I killed the mage or whatever and then they got away with whatever. I forgot what it was. And then I didn't save yet and I had to tab out of my computer and I went back in. So like I don't know if it auto saved at the end of that. So like I put in an hour already, but like I don't know if it's saved and I haven't really gone back because I'm doing stuff for Heroes because of the episode this week. But I don't know, like the combat, I have a hard time with it. Like I don't know what button. Like I'm kind of like just spamming the attack button, and I don't really know what I'm doing.
The thing with that is you like the Geralt has the heavy attacks, and then he's got the fast attacks. So like when there's a lot of small enemies around, you got to use the fast attack. When you're fighting like 1 or 2 bigger enemies, you use the heavier attack. And I think there's a middle one too. It's been a few years since I played that. But that's the basic gist of combat in Witcher 1.
Do I just hold it down and then he attacks? Like
I don't remember. It's a point and click. Like
okay, so it's a lot easier than I'm even making it seem like.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't remember having an issue with it other than at first trying to figure out the fast attacks and the heavy attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all I really remember about it. And then using your magic.
I think
your signs.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I should go back and play through all of them and then play the third one.
I think you should just play Witcher 2.
You think so?
Because really, like the Witcher 1, other than the story and characters and stuff, the stuff will carry over into the Witcher 2, but nothing from the first game I don't think carries into the third game. So just play the Witcher 2. It's a lot better of a game all around, and then play it's not super long either. I think it took me 25 hours.
Does anybody know how many hours that the first one is? Is it like 20,
I think
30?
It's like 40. I think it took didn't it take you like 60 hours, Corey?
I can't remember. I know it took longer than the second one.
Yeah, the second one was a lot shorter. I think like I said, the second one, and I played it a couple weeks ago. It took me 25 hours.
Maybe I'll give it another shot, and if I don't find myself enjoying it, I'll just go to the second one.
Yeah.
See, I want to give it its due. I feel like I should. It's
fair.
like one of those games that I feel like I should have played through, being on a video game podcast and all that.
Yeah.
I don't
There's
know.
only so much time we have, though.
I know. It would take me a while, but I think, like I said, I'm going to give it one more shot and see how it goes. And if I'm just not enjoying it, I don't understand the skill trees.
Yeah.
I just see Igni and like attack, like all these like fast attacks. I don't understand it, but okay.
Right.
If it means anything to you, Will, it took me a little while to get into The Witcher 1. I had to force myself through it, but now it's in my top 10 games of all time.
Okay, so I should probably try and play it.
Give it another shake, and if you're still not into it, it wasn't meant to be.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it another go. Like I said, I don't want to. I don't want to play it for like 2 hours and say I hate it and then crap on it.
No,
Because
I want to revisit it at some point too, because I really did like the time that I played with it. I just something else always came along that took my attention away from it.
elsewhere.
So
yeah, that's my thoughts on The Witcher. It's rough around the edges, definitely. Seems like the other two are a lot better. But the other thing I played is Massive Chalice. Now, I only played this for a little over an hour, so I'm not too deep into it yet. But this game's pretty cool. It plays like Final Fantasy Tactics and like Fire Emblem, like those type of games, the strategy, RPG sort of things. But it's really cool because this one, each character has like personality traits and stuff like that, and like kind of conditions like in Rogue Legacy. So like I had a strong a strong-willed person for their personality trait, but he had asthma. So whenever I sprinted with the character, he got tired and couldn't run as far next turn, and like he had a decrease in accuracy for his attack. So like there's these cool things that play into the characters that kind of add another level of, like trying to figure out how I want to play this game. So like one of my characters, I sprinted to get closer to the enemies. I think they're called the Cadence or something like that. And like I sprinted, they had asthma, she was tired. And then I went to attack the next turn and I missed because it was at 40%. And this was like a hand-to-hand combat, and I was standing right next to it. So like it plays a pretty big role in that. And there's like a lot of other different stuff. I forgot to write down some of them with my team. So like how it would affect out like in the coming weeks. Like I'll have a lot more because I really like it. I think I'm gonna play through it.
nice.
And there's cool things like there's an overview map of like the world or whatever, and you can build keeps there. And like if you build a keep, you assign 2 people in your party to be there, and a male and a female, and then they have kids and they make lineages and they get trained in that keep, and then they go into your army and they help you fight against the Cadence. So like you have that stuff, and it like goes over many years. Like the first people like I put in were like 30 years old, and like they're 50 now, and I've only played an hour. Like I've progressed 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing anything right, like progressing wise. I'm not that into it yet.
Yeah. You haven't gotten that far into it yet.
Yeah, so like I'm still learning all the mechanics and stuff like that, but it's like it's pretty cool. I like how it's playing so far. And from what I've seen, there's only 3 classes so far. I don't know if there's more. There's a hunter, which are the 2 the bow characters. I have like 2 of them because it's like an XCOM. The snipers were the most effective. The hunters are the most effective so far. And then there's the alchemists or whatever, and they have hand-to-hand. The one I have has like claw-like weapons, and then they throw like flasks of stuff like poison and stuff like that, and deal damage to enemies that way. And then there's like caber jacks, and they have like these big ram things, and they charge in and like ram people with them, stuff like that. But it's pretty cool so far. I'm definitely really enjoying it. I'm glad this game actually came out too. It wasn't one of the ones that fell on the early access and then just slowly.
Nah, it was double fine. It was going to come out eventually.
Yeah.
It just came out of early access, right?
Yeah, June 1st, I should say.
A couple days ago.
It released, and it's free on Xbox Live. If you have is it a one
Games
only?
of Gold. Yep.
So if you have an Xbox One, download it and give it a shot. I think I looked up, it's like 15 and a half hours or something like that.
Yeah, it's one I've had my eye on for a while. I don't know if I'll get to it anytime soon, but
yeah, definitely. I think we would all like it here. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna definitely play a lot more of it. I'm gonna try at least to not play Heroes as much.
Right.
I'm gonna limit myself so I can because I want to get through games like Shadow of Mordor and Dragon Age. I still want to play those, and like I have to play through The Witchers, and I've got a lot to play.
Yeah, I hear you.
Will,
And
Sorry. Is Massive Chalice closer to Final Fantasy Tactics or the Banner Saga?
I would say Tactics.
Okay.
I don't know. The environments are a lot better than they are in the Banner Saga.
Okay, that was my biggest concern.
There's terrain.
There's actually terrain and stuff.
All right.
There's actually this enemy on the Cadence that when you kill them, they explode and they leave like an acidy thing in like 6 or 7 squares, like in a circle, so that you can't stop in there, or you're gonna get like poisoned and you're gonna start dying a little bit. But yeah, there's like actual terrain and stuff that like impede your progress.
You have this game on Steam?
I have this on Steam, yeah.
All right, another game
category. No, I'm excited too.
Give it a shot. I bought it early access because I was like, I'm gonna play this.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
And I just waited. But so far, I'm giving it a thumbs up. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. Cool. Massive Chalice.
Massive Chalice. I'm trying to think if I played anything else. I don't think so. Yeah, no.
Okay. I actually did try something else. I downloaded the demo for Puzzle and Dragon Z Mario theme on the 3DS. It's pretty fun. If you've ever played Puzzle and Dragons, it's actually a pretty cool little game.
I've heard people love that.
I like the Mario theme better, obviously. But it's a pretty fun little time killer.
Okay.
It's got some RPG elements to it with the match 3. It's kind of hard to explain.
Better than your standard, like, stupid mobile game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's... definitely check out the demo because it's not like a game I've played before. If you have a 3DS, it's a free demo. There's no reason to not check it out. But it's a good time killer. Something your significant other could probably get into too. Like if you got a lady in the house that likes to play games, it's a fun little match 3 with some RPG elements. So
nice. Okay, Corey.
What up?
Hearthstone, or did you talk about done?
Said my piece with that.
Okay. Did you have anything else?
No.
Okay.
Been a quiet week for me.
Calling up feedback.
Corey, I didn't realize you had so little game time on your hands.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, now I feel bad for yelling at you. I should have directed Eric.
Whatever.
You were more aggressive with me.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
All I said was I just require a text message.
It was your tone.
Well, all right. Probably was.
That's why I play so much Hearthstone, though, because you can kind of squeeze that in on the pooper. You can squeeze that in while you're laying in bed. You can squeeze it in while you're watching TV. Yeah.
45 minutes later, Corey comes stumbling out. His legs are asleep.
Exactly how it is.
I know it is. It's funny.
Okay. Feedback? Feedback it is. Twitter feedback, Dave in Boston. The 3 witches in the swamp are awesome, and Johnny creeped me the F out. Now, that's about where you are, right, Corey?
No, I'm past that.
Okay. The crones.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Johnny, that type of character. They're called godlings, and they're kind of like, I don't know, they're little weird lizard people looking things. They have weird eyes.
Reminded me of Gollum a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they look a little bit like Gollum, less menacing than Gollum, but they hang out outside of villages and they kind of help with odd jobs around the villages. They're not usually like around people, but they will meet with children because they like fun and that sort of stuff. They're useful critters, but they are freaky looking. So I hear you, Dave. It's the eyes that are freaky looking. That'll creep you out, definitely.
This is The Witcher?
The Witcher, yeah.
Okay.
You actually come across another godling later on in the game in a side quest. That was kind of cool. Facebook feedback?
I have a quick question about The Witcher before we move on.
Go ahead.
Is it worth it to do all the Gwent challenges?
I haven't done any.
Okay.
I've played one match of Gwent.
I played one match on accident and then gave up.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in it at all.
I'm not interested either. Some people really love it, but I want to play the game. I don't want to play a card game inside the game. That's my thought on it.
Yeah.
You know,
I haven't messed around with it much either, but I don't want to be missing anything by not.
There is quest lines that are part of Gwent, but I probably won't ever see those because I haven't played Gwent. This is Facebook in response to our highest downloaded month ever. Andreas is in Germany, I believe. He said, "Great show, especially episode 200." We're glad you liked episode 200. We didn't think too highly of it.
Shocked that you liked it.
Maybe that was tongue in cheek.
I
I
don't know.
It was probably fun,
I guess.
Yeah.
As somebody who said they listened to it, I said I'm sorry right after
Yeah.
they told me.
I would imagine the people that listened to us for the very first time on episode 200 didn't tune
Last
in.
time.
Yeah. Once you get to know us, probably that would have been better.
Yeah.
So we're glad you like it. Glad you liked it, Andreas. Appreciate it. Parks Miss P says, "Nice job, dudes, on episode 200." Or no,
On our
200.
download.
On our highest month ever of downloads, which episode 200 was a part of. So that that fits.
Yeah.
Dave and Boston says, "I unsubscribe every time you do a Nintendo show."
That was in reference to that also.
Yeah. And I tried to Dave a little bit and told him, if you can't beat us, just join us.
I saw
Just
that.
Get a Wii U, Dave.
I saw the picture posted and I found that
Yeah,
hilarious.
That was funny.
Yeah. get a Wii U, Dave. You won't be, you might be disappointed. I don't know.
I think
like
Dave
the Wii U.
might be. Although Dave likes fun games.
Yeah.
Like you can't go wrong with Mario Kart and Smash Brothers.
No, the
I'm
couch
sure
co-op stuff is
Splatoon.
fun. They say, "Great job on the Witcher 3 podcast. Love the post-game show, too. I'm about where you guys are. Love the Crones. I still have to put up our Bloody Baron thing. I think I'm going to put that on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Now's the time to do it, Dan.
Yeah, no. I'll probably do it tomorrow. As I've got to make a video first before I can put it up. So I will do that tomorrow. No doubt.
How long is your chat?
I think it's like half an hour.
Yeah, probably about a half hour.
Okay.
Why?
Just curious. I was just trying to think of what you could have for the video.
Yeah, I thought about doing like SoundCloud, but I don't want to sign up for a new account and stuff. It's easier to just put on YouTube and put like a picture as the background for the video,
Yep.
Then I'll put it on our website. Email from Idaho Jake. He says, "Hey guys, nothing really new to report. I have one question. I'm getting Elder Scrolls Online, but I don't know if I should stick with the $100 Imperial Edition that comes with maps, books, all the DLC, and a 12-inch statue of Molag Bal, or just get the Imperial Edition from PSN for $71. All it comes with is DLC, but it is a day one download. You can actually play it at 10 p.m. my time. What do you think I should do?" Now for E3 predictions, I tried to pick two basic ones and two bold ones, so here we go. 1, the only thing EA will have to impress is Battlefront and pretty much remasters of all their sports games. 2, Ubisoft will have another bad conference and end with a good trailer of another bad Assassin's Creed game. Now for bold, 1, Bethesda will announce Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim will be remastered for PS4 and Xbox One, all in one pack coming holidays 2015. 2, we will get 2 games that will be available after they are announced. All right, that's it for me. Go Blackhawks. So those are fair predictions. I like the Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim one remastered.
That'd be fucking awesome.
That would be awesome. I mean, especially Morrowind really
That'd
needs
make
a
my
remaster.
balls tingle a little bit.
That would make my balls tingle too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morrowind especially.
Bethesda
needs a
would
remaster.
win there, huh?
Yeah, Bethesda.
Fallout 4 and then
Bethesda
the
on E3.
Elder Scrolls remastered pack.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
baby.
EA, unless they announce Mass Effect, I really don't see them having anything. He's right, sports games, which have
I'm
long
sure that
since
they've
not interested
revamped
me.
everything.
Yeah.
Madden 18.
NHL is adding playoff beards.
Is that true?
That's their thing, yeah.
Oh my
Playoff
God.
beards.
I can't even.
Playoff beards and crusty underwears.
Yeah.
I mean, we joke about it every year, and every year it happens again.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's
People just have to stop buying them. That's what has to happen.
Ugh.
Madden people are going to buy. No matter what you do, people are going to buy Madden.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. FIFA too, probably.
FIFA's good though.
Right. Yeah. It's of the sports games, it's probably the best one.
Yeah.
I really have hated the NHLs the past few years. So
Don't
Yeah.
get me going on the last one.
yeah. Ubisoft will have another bad conference.
Was it? Oh no, I'm sorry. It was Square that said they had a few games to announce.
Yeah.
Not Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft will probably have a game that's coming out in 3 years that they'll announce at E3 this year.
Jesus, hopefully we get something for the Division, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I've already lost hope on the Division.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mostly, it's not because of anything that specifically the Division has done. It's, I don't have any faith in Ubisoft for making a good game. None whatsoever. So that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite game from them the past few years is Child of Light.
Me too. So what he wants to know what he should do about Elder Scrolls.
Yes. $100 Imperial Edition comes with maps, books, all the DLC, and 12-inch statue of Molag Bal, or the Imperial Edition from PSN for $71. Comes with all the DLC, but is also a day one download, and you can play it at 10 p.m.
Pardon me. If it was me personally, I'd go for the $70 PSN one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For my apartment, I don't know what kind of house you live in or whatever, but I just don't have the room to be putting any extra junk around.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
unless you really want the statue and stuff, I don't know if that's a game you can trade in either.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Sure, you can.
Yeah, I mean, does it just have you the? Because I know on PC, like, it's account based game, but you might be able to like just create an account and trade it in, and then the person that bought that game used creates an account.
I think you'd have to trade it in with the statue though.
Yeah, because sometimes those packs come with special cases that you can't just straight up trade in.
I tried to do that. My Theater Rhythm game came with a CD, and I tried to trade it in without the CD, and they sent it back to me, and I had to send it back with the CD.
That's dumb.
Music.
That is really dumb.
If it's an edition that includes something, then that has to go with, at least through Amazon. I'm sure GameStop would
probably
accept
take it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If you got space for all the stuff that it comes with, then sure.
Yeah. If you like having the physical things, maps, books, and DLC. I mean, for me, I didn't like getting digital games on console because I like to trade them in, you know?
See, now that I'm not going to trade games in anymore, I would prefer to get them digitally, I think, but the hard drives prevent me from doing that.
Right.
And
I mean, you still have to install a physical copy. It still takes up hard drive space.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to have to keep like deleting everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
time for a new hard drive.
Yeah, but then I have to save up, and then I can't buy games.
Right. Yeah, because it's a new hard drive for you'd probably
a little over $100.
Really?
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah, they're not bad at all.
It wasn't $100. Wasn't it like 70?
That was my Wii U one. I don't remember.
Are you talking about for a 1 terabyte laptop
Yeah.
hard drive? It shouldn't be more than $70
For the PS4?
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything I've seen has been, unless I've seen it on sale for like 70, but normal price I've seen.
No, because I put one of those solid state. It's a solid state regular hard drive, hybrid drive.
Okay.
It's a 1 gigabyte. I put one in the wife's computer because when she got the computer, it was broken, and I think it was $80 most.
And that would go in the PS4?
Yeah. Yeah, it just has to be a laptop hard drive that goes in there. You could even not get the hybrid drive, get a normal like 5400 RPM hard drive. It'd be slow, but it would probably be like $60
Okay.
for one
keep it in
terabyte.
mind.
Yeah.
I'd like to get one for my Xbox and my PS4.
Right.
So.
Xbox.
Yeah, if I find any deals for them, I'll send them your way.
Yeah, keep me posted. It's not often that I have $80 in my spending account.
Right.
Which is where it would have to come from.
Right. Are people putting 2 terabyte hard drives on their PS4s?
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, that's why.
Some people do.
Yeah, so that would probably be over $100. So you'd probably be looking at like 110 for a 2 terabyte.
I would rather do that.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna upgrade, I'd rather spend the extra $30-$40 on it.
And get something big enough to hold all your games for a while.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. I think that's it for feedback. Did we get anything late?
No, I looked.
Okay. Question of the week, Corey.
I wrote it down. What other item, this is last week's, what other item or industry would work best for Humble Bundle style pay what you want fundraisers?
Mm-hmm.
This was inspired by Nintendo's foray into Humble Bundle.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
Very unexpected. I thought that was an April Fool's joke, and then I realized it was late May when I heard about it.
Yep.
So this is from Idaho Jake. As for question of the week, I would say Mad Catz with all the products and stuff they make.
Yeah.
I do know they make some high-end PC gaming components. Like,
Do they?
really like bizarre-looking gaming mice that looks like a transformer. That's like $130 for one of those bad boys.
Wow.
It's ugly. I don't know how usable it is, but it's quite the interesting looking contraption.
It'd be a good way for them to get rid of like old inventory.
Actually,
Yeah.
stuff GameStop should do that.
Yeah.
Buy a bag of games for you don't know what you're gonna get, $10.
Like Woot.
rather,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Bag of crap.
Bag of
Exactly.
crap, $5.
A bag of crap because
love
they
it.
throw most of that stuff in a dumpster.
Do they?
Yeah, I've seen countless posts on Reddit of, I did some dumpster diving near my local GameStop. Look what I got, and it's all these like old consoles and games and stuff that they just
Really?
tossed in a dumpster. Why not just bag that stuff up and bag of crap, $5 for
I'd be in.
because
Why the fuck
you
not?
might not get anything, but it's
But
worth
you
a
might
shot.
get something.
Exactly.
If not, I'll just go trade it back into them.
Right. Valerie in Illinois says, as a silly answer, prostitution. Pay what you want for
Humble bundle.
a lady or a gentleman.
Lady of the evening.
As a more serious answer, and although there's no way in hell this would work, but I wish medical treatments /hospital bills were more along the pay what you are willing system.
Oh God. Nobody would ever pay.
Yeah. We had a health clinic in a town near us that I had to get a shot for college, and it was pay what you were willing, and I think my mom donated like $30 or whatever.
Whoa.
What?
That's a lot. Could be the type of thing, pay more than the average, and your treatment is FDA approved.
No, and you get a Band-Aid on your shot if you pay more than
the average, and you get local anesthesia.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Um.
that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything clever.
No.
Honestly.
I can only think like really the best thing for this to work is something digital, not something physical. Because physical, you run into the whole shipping and stuff,
Yeah.
So I mean, anything
Music.
Music,
Yeah.
and Humble Bundle does like audiobooks occasionally, and they do like digital comics occasionally.
They movies.
I don't know that they've had a movie bundle, but I wouldn't surprise me if they did have like maybe a documentary bundle or something. They've done.
That'd be a really good idea, though. Like older movies.
Yeah.
Like a.
Off Pack with Scarface and The Godfather.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
even
for
like
digital movies.
dumpy 80s sci-fi movies. I would pay.
Horror movies.
I would pay. I would pay for like $5 for B-level horror movies and stuff. I don't know. I'd be really
Or
into that.
Sleepaway Camp Collection.
Yeah, but Corey,
Oh yeah, $5. Sure.
you know damn well that movie studios aren't that smart, and they're
Yeah.
not going to do stuff like that.
You never know. I mean,
I would be shocked. They are dinosaurs when it comes to changing with the movies.
well, we thought the same about Nintendo.
Yeah.
And EA did a Humble Bundle, which is shocking.
You're kind of right. You're kind of right.
So,
But I think for Nintendo to survive as a company, like all the movie studios are essentially the same dinosaurs. So they don't have, unless someone comes along that can push them out of their dinosaur ways.
yeah, that's all it takes is somebody to sit down the dinosaurs and say, "Listen, dinosaurs, these movies aren't making any money, but if we did this, we'd at least get a little bit of money, and it'd be good PR."
Right. Do you think that's going to happen?
That's the
you
thing,
know
like-
more about stuff than I do.
The film studios and record companies do to a certain extent, but film studios don't really brand themselves to the extent that like video game publishers do.
Right.
You say the word Ubisoft and get all these ideas in your head. I don't think movie studios do that as well, and that'd be a good way, a good step in that direction anyway, which you kind of need to do in this day and age.
Yeah. Yeah, like everyone, like take Legendary. You know? Oh, great! The next Legendary movie's coming out.
Mhm.
I tend to like Legendary's movies. I'm not a movie guy by any means, but I've seen a lot of their movies, and they're relatively good anyway. So
yeah, that was honestly the only one that came to mind that I was like, oh, I know that kind of movie.
right.
But I can't think of any others that.
Yeah, I guess Legendary was a bad example because they do kind of have a name. Universal. That's really that's a lot of companies though.
Yeah.
Under Universal.
Yeah.
Disney. Disney's also a bad example because getting with the Disney movie.
For the most, if you said Pixar,
Yeah,
I'd be
Pixar.
like, okay, I know what you mean. Disney's a little bit broader,
Right.
but
Okay. Any other thoughts?
I don't know. I think you're right on with the digital goods because technically the cost isn't anything to distribute that. It's data.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, yes,
Servers.
yes, time and energy went into creating that, but once it's created, there's no cost, no
like
distribution
you said,
cost or negligible costs.
Old movies, as long as they're digital copies, would be perfect for that.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if they want to start, need to come out with a good platform for digital movies other than iTunes.
Mhm.
I think something competing needs to come along.
Even old TV shows like the Boy Meets World collection, pay what you want. That's not making any money anywhere anyway.
Right, exactly. Because people are reluctant now to buy DVDs and stuff. Like I'll buy Blu-rays of movies that I watch a lot.
Yeah.
But we had hundreds of DVDs. We just don't do that anymore. We don't have the space for it. We don't watch them.
Mine are sitting in boxes, have been for months.
Exactly. Like I said, for movies that I really like and will watch, I'll buy Blu-rays. But other than that, like I'll watch it on Netflix if it's on Netflix.
Sure.
So, all right. What's the question of the week for next week, Corey?
Fallout 4 is confirmed. What would you love to see in the game? Pretty simple, but I feel like a lot of people have opinions on what they want in Fallout 4. There's a lot of speculation going around. People are talking about the possibility of there being vehicles, sort of playing around in the world before the atomic thing happened. So
and that would be the reason why they showed the dog running through the spot with the
Call of Duty dog.
Previous to the world blowing up and after the world blowing up.
Yep.
That was kind of neat.
Yep. So whatever you want to see in Fallout 4, crazy, practical, whatever.
Cool. Okay. That's everything, right?
Yep.
I don't have my card again, so I'm just going to direct you to our website because that has all the information you're going to need from us, www.thumbstickatheltes.com. From there, you can go to our Facebook page or Twitter page, Instagram. We have YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel because we've actually been putting things on our YouTube channel. Every week we put the Twitch broadcast of our episodes up. Corey's been putting up his Witcher stuff. Any streams that I'm going to be doing, I'll put on YouTube. So we are going to have YouTube content at least once a week, at the very least once a week now. So
Dan, next week E3 prediction.
Next week is going to be E3 preview prediction episode.
Maybe some Splatoon in there.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk Splatoon. I don't know if we're going to get to that tonight at this point. It's up to you. I don't care one way or the other. So yeah, we'll talk about Splatoon. I drunkenly talked about it during our 200th episode, but I don't remember what I said. I don't know if I made a good case for how fun the game was when I played it.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. So yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that next week, at least a little bit. Any other thoughts?
Nope.
All right, that'll do it for episode 202 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
American.
Will.
Corey.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement. All right. Fun episode. 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Ugh.